Mitch, looks like we got ourselves a fight, huh?
Great, it's fighting time. Can I be on their side?
Looks like there's gonna be a brawl. You playing something good?
Hell yeah! Rolling Stone, street fighting man, G7!
You just hit G8.
If you like pina coladas.
Look, have you seen what they do to those poor animals?
Well, I'm much more of a people person. I'd like to feed all the hungry little children of the world. I'd much rather help my fellow man than some
$1.
animal. Oh, get away from me, you bum!
Buffy, can't you see he's just hungry? Here you go, sir. A nice sandwich for you. See?
I said $1, bitch.
Ow!
What's up, everybody?
$1, bitch. Brad always coming through with those, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that dirty work opening was perfect. I love, man. Damn.
It was not. It was a long one to make because there's so many choices, and you know.
Just good job, man. That's a good intro, buddy. That's all Brad.
Can I be on their side?
Yeah. I showed Alan an intro, and he's like, "Wait a minute, you should put these in it." And I'm like, "Make your own, God damn it!"
He's my artist, God damn it.
It off though, man, was like perfect, man. That was tits right there.
So I would like to start off and say, "Fuck this stream." This has been the hardest list, man, that I've ever had to work on. We've done a lot of the top fives.
This was absolutely a mistake. And for the 8 people that are going to watch this, you're welcome. Because I've told Alan, I don't know how many times, like, get somebody else, dude. Ask anybody else to do this thing. Please. You'll show me. I'm not going to not show up, but I would like it if you replaced me with anyone else.
Right.
It was a nightmare.
Man,
he doesn't want to be
went back and watched a lot of comedies.
I mean, watching the movies was the fun part, but it's just like they've all got, like, I owned them for a reason. They've all got to be in the top 5. You know, that's the way it felt.
Like I was telling you guys, man, the way that I narrowed it down is I'm just trying to think of the first time that I watched one of these movies, how much I laughed. Because there's some comedies, man, where I laughed so fucking hard I couldn't even breathe anymore. So a lot of these ones, upon the first time I watched them, that's how I felt. So with that, I had to put it at the top of my list. Even though there are lots of other comedies out there that I watch probably more often than these, or I like a lot, but I was never really like sitting there and like just busting up the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
You know? That's kind of where
some of these movies I've watched so many times, I'm almost desensitized to the real funny parts. But I was kind of like you. I was thinking about the first time I seen them.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and how many times I've watched them and enjoyed them. You know, over the years. I mean, so that's kind of was a big factor for me as well.
Yep.
So,
absolutely.
Let's see who we got out there.
Oh, and Tony's supposed to be here. Tony's supposed to be here. UK Tony, Masters of the 80s. He's supposed to be here. He had a convention all day. I think it's far from his house. And, you know, he's English. So traveling, they're not good at it. Who knows, man? He could be asleep. He takes naps before streams sometimes. He could be out right now. We don't know. But he's
got afternoon tea. He's got to drink his tea.
He's got to get the tea going before he gets up. You know, he probably had about a couple 5 gallons of booze while he was out. So, I mean, who knows, man? He should be here. He's got the link. We'll see him when he gets here, hopefully.
He's probably at a fight in Mordor or whatever Lord of the Rings place fucking is out there.
If he jumps in, he can catch up to wherever we are. He'll just jump in and catch up. So, what's going on, Holland?
What's up, Holland?
What's up, Holland?
Caveman, what's going on? Hey, Holland. And of course, where there's one, there's the other. How you doing, Miss Caveman?
Yeah.
Nice.
Saying hey back. There's Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Any scene in the opening, it would be the most funny clip in there. All right, Gizmo's awake. What's going on, Scolder?
I'm looking forward to Gizmo's comments all fucking night. His random fucking shit he said.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well done, Brad. The intros are awesome, man. Yeah. Jamie Harf, what's going on? So hello.
Hey, Jamie.
Samantha, how you doing?
There she is.
Hey, Sam. Scolder.
Scolder again. Damn Dirty 8, man. Appreciate you being here.
So, great name.
I would love to be a part of one of these. Brad can still be there.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that chase one that you were talking about, or getaway one, or whatever.
Oh, the chase scenes, yeah. That's a good idea.
Let's set it up. Magic Hands, what's going on?
What's up?
There's my buddy. What's going on, Ryan?
Ryan,
what's up?
Man?
What's up, dude?
It's been a good one for Ryan, but he's been real busy with the that fucking doctor bullshit he does.
Just out there saving lives and shit.
Yeah. He knows he's got an open door. Anytime he's available, he can jump on. So, like I said, he's got an open door to Spots Movie Dungeon for sure.
Yep.
What's going on, Mama Blu-ray?
Mama Blu-ray.
All right. Anytime you see Gizmo pop up, there's going to be a pause because I had a pre-read before I say I'll say the most outlandish shit, repeat what he says. Is there one thing the Brits never been famous for, and that is keeping time? Can't wait for Brad's top 5 of basket case.
That's not gonna happen.
Charles Clinton, what's going on, Charles?
I might have been. We'll see.
The guys, you know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna go around, start with our number 5, go down to number 1.
With the slip.
Look at the slip. Got to show that slip. I have the slip. It's over there. I'm getting ready to give it to somebody else. A friend of mine has that's the one arrow in their collection that doesn't have the slip.
Oh,
so instead of them paying $100 for it, I'm going to give them mine.
Wow. Well, that's very good.
I'm only charging them $79.99.
Plus $10 shipping.
But at the end, we're going to throw some honorable mentions because like these guys here doing 5 comedies, man. I mean, come on. So we got a few honorable mentions. We'll mention it at the end. Just go through them real fast. But guys, we'll go ahead and get started.
Honorable mentions at this point. That's going to be the real. This is I guarantee you, it's probably. I mean,
I got 7 right now.
Yeah, I got 6. But man, watching the intro, I was like, "Fuck! I should have got one of those in my fucking honorable mentions, man." So it kind of.
I'm expecting a lot of that. Watching y'all pull picks, I'm expecting a lot of that.
Yep.
So my list started at 87. And I dwindled it down, and then I'm still sitting at my 5 plus. I got 7 honorables.
Fuck, dude, you saying that you had 87? I feel like I did not do enough homework then, man, because I didn't have that many, man. I was like, okay, these ones.
What I do for these top 5s, I get on my Voodoo account, and you can go by decades and type in the genre, and it lists every single comedy that Voodoo has for that decade. And I got to go through and put it into a list. You can make lists on Voodoo, and I'll add them into a list. And then once I went through the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up. And when I ended, I had 87 movies pulled out in that list. And I kind of go through, watch the trailers, and start breaking them down from there. That's how I do my shit.
That's a good way of fucking doing it. Actually, that's
Yeah,
plus I can do it from the comfort of my big ass reclining chair. You know,
yeah,
kick back and
it's a bunch
play
of
with the
bullshit.
remote, you know?
I mean, it really is. You end up doing fucking like a book report on these things.
Yeah. That's basically what these things are like, man.
Me and Alan have never argued about anything. Probably never will. But I have never cursed at him more, whether he was on the phone with me or not on the phone with me, or could hear me or not hear me. I went, Alan, motherfucker. I told you we should cancel it. I told you it was a bad idea. It's not going to work. It's a fucking mess.
I think I got about 3 fuck yous today in text message.
It was really a pain in the ass.
Hey, man says, love you, Soprano. Sure, appreciate it, man.
Well,
Gizmo said, my bet is that Brad will have Mean Girls, Clueless, She's the Man, 13 going on 30, and Mean Girls 2.
You forgot White Chick. You forgot White Chick.
Teenage Girl?
That would be Brian's top 5. He was on here.
Let's get this thing rolling. Anthony, first on the clock, man. What you got, number 5?
First of all, I don't want to know what kind of comedies Gizmo finds funny. Because that could be all sorts of sick shit.
He's gonna say necromantic.
Yeah, right, exactly. So first up, directed by Todd Phillips, the guy who brought us Joker. Well, before Joker, he gave us Road Trip.
Yeah.
Classic, man. I love a good road trip movie, and this is the quintessential road trip movie right here. You know,
I don't mean to cut you off, but there are a million comedy road trips. Like if you watch the reel at the beginning, it's a bunch of road trip movies. It's like that is a really popular, and it always works somehow.
Yeah,
always.
it does.
Yep.
And then and I just want and I say quintessential just because this has like the road trip label on it. The actual title is Road Trip, and it hits all the marks. I mean, you get boobs in this, a ton of boobs. There's a shower scene. All the ladies are just hanging out naked, and they even
girls don't just do that. Girls don't just hang around naked with each other.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. It's my story.
Right.
They do.
I love it when they go to the all black fraternity, and Sean William Scott's like, they know you're not a member. It's just like, and they plan.
Did you kill a cheetah?
And they plant a Klansman hoodie like in the one guy's bag too, as they find it, and they're like, it's just such a good time. I mean, just having a great time in this movie. Sean William Scott, from American Pie and all that, he plays the same Stifler character in basically all these type of movies, but it's great. It's exactly what you want. He plays that kind of like asshole, smooth talking friend, and it's just what you need. Amy Smart is in it. She gets naked. That's always great. And she's a good actress. I mean, I really do like Amy Smart. You got that really nerdy, skinny guy right there. He's in a bunch of stuff too. It's just a good, Breckin Meyer's great. I mean, it's just a really fun cast. Tom Green. Remember
that was Tom Green at best too, man.
Yeah. He had a run there where he couldn't miss.
Yeah, and he doesn't even go on the road trip. He stays behind, which is the funniest part. But it's great when he's fighting with that. The snake jumps out of the thing and it grabs that one asshole by the neck. It's like, and he's trying to eat the mouse. Remember that too? I mean, it's just so many good scenes in this movie. It's just a lot of fun. Oh god, that the scene with the nurse where she's jacking him off. He's like,
how about 2 fingers?
2 fingers, right? And then when he hooks up, hooks up with the nurse that's in pre-med, like afterwards, she's like 2 fingers, and he's like, better make it 3. Oh my god!
I love the scene where Fred Ward's looking for his son, and they find the car, and the detective is like, "If I had to guess, somebody was raped and murdered here."
Make you say that.
Fred Ward's like, "What the hell is that? Why would you say that?" And the guy's just like, "Just a feeling."
Right. Fred Ward's great in this too, man. I mean, what isn't Fred Ward good in? But he's so funny. He plays a great dad. That overbearing.
Oh yeah, he was made for that kind of role, or older mentor, or whatever. He's good for that kind of shit.
Right. Now we've been coming here for 20 years. The restaurant's only been open for 10 years, sir. And he's like, just charge it to my card. And the guy's like, sorry, sir, it's not working, and like he's just getting so pissed or whatever. He's like, you charge this goddamn meal to that goddamn card right now. It's just this poor kid, this poor waiter kid. I don't know. There's a lot of funny parts of that movie, but it's one that I go back and rewatch a shit ton. So it's like it had to be in my top 5 somewhere because I'll just. It's like Pop said. I'm desensitized to it now, but I watch it so often that it's like, But that's it. That's Road Trip. Yeah.
Man, hell of a way to start it off, man.
Classic.
All right.
Or Cholo. What you got, man?
Bring it.
My number 5. This movie, I remember seeing in theaters when I was a kid, and it's going to be Dumb and Dumber. And Dumb and Dumber, man, I remember my fucking father taking me to see this when I was a kid. And I remember he was saying that I was laughing so hard that he was embarrassed to sit next to me. So like I was fucking cracking up in this movie. It's just, I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Jim Carrey, and just that I mean, the way he plays stupid and the decisions they make and everything. It's just so epic, man. The way that their performances are and how much they, I mean, go full into it is just fucking hilarious to me. I mean, the whole dog van that they have, they live in a shit apartment. The birds that ends up getting its head chopped off, and they give it a little kid. Little kid's blind. Pretty bird. Yeah, pretty bird. It's fucking hilarious, man. And then when they go to Aspen too, when he falls in love with this girl that really is just like using him for a briefcase and stuff. And he's just so in love, and it's so hilarious. And then like even his little daydreams when he's in the fucking restaurant and he's fighting that kung fu guy and he rips out his heart and he puts it in a bag and hands it back to him. It's like, what the fuck? This is the shit that you're daydreaming about, man. This movie is just epic. I've seen it so many times, and like I said, I remember seeing it in theaters when I was a kid, and it just made a huge impact on me. To be honest, a lot of Jim Carrey's movies did. I feel like this is one of the ones that doesn't really lose its steam too much. I also am desensitized to a lot of things that I did laugh back in the day when I first seen it, but there's still parts in here that I will definitely laugh at, man. And it's just a fun ride too. There's so many different things that they do. So many events happen. First they're over here in the ghetto, then they're on the road. Here we go, road trip again, and then they're in fucking Aspen, and it's all fucking nice and snow. A lot of like different kind of situations, and it's all just them. I mean, I remember the Banaka thing too. He like sprays it out of his mouth, and like it's burning. It's like it didn't even go in your mouth. So it's just hilarious, man. So yeah, my number 5 is Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah.
I like it when they're in the restaurant and then they put, they're doing the chili pepper test or whatever, and the guy in the middle who's getting so irritated, he's like, "Why don't you guys just quit being a couple of pussies and take them at the same time?"
Everybody keeps mistaking them for like experts.
Yeah.
Too, which is hilarious. He's like, these guys aren't just anybody. They're pros. They're good.
Oh yeah, like professional criminals.
Yeah.
And there's so many good ad-lib scenes in the movie, like the world's most annoying sound in the world or whatever.
Yeah.
When he did that, that was all improv. And if you look at Jeff Daniels at the beginning of that, Jeff Daniels has no idea that he's fixing to do that. So you can see Jeff Daniels really laugh at it, So, and the guy in the middle was getting really aggravated in real life because they say that all these different things they were doing, he was just like, fuck, sitting in between them. But
and that's awesome. That shows a fucking good ass comedian actor, man, that could improv things that you like for sure. When you think of that movie, you think of that scene. So I mean that's incredible right there that it wasn't even written. That's awesome.
And what's crazy, man, the year that movie came out, I mean Jim Carrey, he does Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and Ace Ventura the same fucking year, man. What a huge year.
Yeah, seriously, man. All those movies are fucking epic, man. Those I loved every single one of those.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
A million great scenes. All right, number 5, 2011, directed by Drew Goddard, written by Joss Whedon, Cabin in the Woods. Yeah, I got to take some of this plastic off this fucking steelbook so you can see it. It's like one of those couches from back in the day. Yeah, this movie.
Oh yeah.
Still doesn't say the title.
Yeah,
it's a great steelbook. But anyway, This movie's a satire on horror films, filled with all the classic tropes, the classic horror villain types, not the exact ones, but, close enough. Werewolf, zombies, whatever. This was a total surprise for me in the theaters when I saw it back in 2011. I wasn't expecting anything. I was like, how could it be good? What they're doing, making fun of horror movies. Come on. It's not going to work. I loved it. From the time I saw it, I still watch it probably yearly here. Brad Whitford and Richard Jenkins, they really carry the movie, their relationship, these two guys. The whole time, the banter between them is hilarious. I love the way they approach this. I love the whole bit with Brad Whitford pining the whole movie about the merman. He wants to see the merman. We all know how it ends, but the whole time he brings it up constantly throughout the movie. How just a little bit of jabs here and there about it, but I won't go on and on about this. We got a lot of movies to cover and about 97 honorable mentions. But if you have not seen this and you are into horror at all, this is a must own. It's a ton of fun, and like I said, you're in it for their little they're coworkers. You're in it for the banter between these two. Yep. It's hilarious and it's a lot of fun, man. So
have you seen Paul? That's the same guys, and they fucking meet the alien.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's void.
Yeah,
that shit's hilarious too.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I know the movie, but I don't think I've seen it.
I like that one. That one's good.
I'll definitely check it out.
It's got the guys from Shaun of the Dead. It's those two guys. Yeah.
Oh, what movie did you pull right now? Am I tripping?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, this fuck. Oh, okay. Damn. It looked like you pulled two different fucking things. Like, did that have a slip cover over it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that slip too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's so much glare in here.
I was tripping there for a second, man. I could not fucking see what that was.
I'd also love when the final girl is getting her shit pushed in on the dock by the monsters. Yeah. Everybody's just partying, and that's just going on in the background.
Yeah,
that part cracks me up every time.
Tequila is my lady.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Man, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah,
that's a fun one, man. That's a badass steelbook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even seen that steelbook before. That's nice.
All right. Well, had to make a little arrangements because somebody might have already pulled one of mine. So I'm
before we get started, there's a comment right here that might be germane to this situation. Dr. Ordinary, I just double checked rep with IMDb. Armageddon does not qualify as a comedy, but FYI for a random friend, no one in particular, just saying. So
it does have comedic parts in it, though.
Well, there is funny stuff in it.
It definitely could qualify. I think it could qualify, but that's not my number 5 here. Hold on, before I jump in, let's bring my buddy in here. What's up,
Tony?
There he is.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
No worries, man. We're still in the first round.
You're right on the time.
Yeah.
I'll give my pick. We'll let you do your number 5 here.
Go on. Yeah.
All right. My number 5, this came out the year I graduated high school. Me and a buddy went and seen it. I'll never forget the first time we watched this. I've never laughed so hard the first 20 minutes of a movie. The whole fucking movie's funny. First 20 minutes of this movie is some of the funniest shit ever put on film, in my opinion. And that's going to be Harlem Nights.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You got Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, and fucking Red Fox in the same fucking movie. It was my dream back in the day. My favorite comedians. I grew up watching Sanford & Son. I watched all the Richard Pryor stand-ups, and Eddie Murphy movies hit right when I was, in the 80s where I grew up in. And this was the quintessential comedy for me back in the day. The first 20 minutes of this with the back and forth with Della Reese. Della Reese, I've never really seen much else with Della Reese in it. She fucking kills it in this movie. But basically, the movie came out in 1988. This is the only movie that was directed by Eddie Murphy. His first directorial debut, and I don't think he's directed anything else. It stars Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Danny Aiello, which is one of those character actor co-stars that always makes the movie better, in my opinion. Della Reese and Arsenio Hall's got a really small role in this. He's my least favorite part of the movie. I do like Arsenio Hall, but he's in this movie, he's called The Crying Man. It's just first 5 minutes is funny, but then it just kind of, okay, that's too much. I'm done with you. I'm glad he finally got killed. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It also has Robin Harris, rest in peace. He was a great comedian back in the day. And of course, Eddie Murphy's brother, Charlie Murphy, which is in a lot of Eddie Murphy movies, but Charlie Murphy's funny as shit too. He was in this as well. Yeah. But this is during the 1930s. Eddie Murphy always wanted to make a period piece. And so he was really excited about making this. not only Richard Pryor was his biggest influence, but he always wanted to do a period piece. So this was set in 1930s. A New York City illegal gambling house owner and his associates must deal with strong competition, gangsters, and corrupt cops in order to stay in business. Eddie Murphy basically said on some of the notes I read that the jokes and camaraderie between him, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox, Robin Harris, and Della Reese behind the scenes were much funnier than anything that was in front of the camera. He said the shit they did on set, he said it was some of the best times of his life. This was the final movie that Red Fox was in. You know, Red Fox died a few years later, but this was the last feature film that Red Fox starred in. Despite the harsh critiques of the critics, this movie didn't do very well. The critics hated this fucking movie. Of course, you know that doesn't matter. But
they always
it has become a cult classic over the years due to the humor and the dialogue. The word "fuck" was used 133 times. As you can imagine, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and Eddie Murphy, you're going to have some fucks involved. Like I said, first 20 minutes, the fight between Eddie Murphy and Della Reese, I don't give a fuck how many times I watch it. If I see it on TV, if I run across it somewhere, I'm watching to the end of that scene at least. You know, when they're all in the room, when he's accused of Della Reese of stealing, you know, and the back and forth, you know, it's just comedy fucking gold. And like I said, with these three in it, man, it's going to be funny. But the first time I seen this in theaters, it was a packed house, a premiere movie. It was a big fucking deal. And being in a packed theater watching this, it's one of those I had to go back and see it a second time because you can hear some of the dialogue. People were laughing so fucking loud. But if you haven't seen Harlem Nights, this is the new release. They just put it back out on Blu-ray. I just picked this up for the stream. But this came out, I think, the end of last year. But
who released
great
that?
movie. It's a studio release. I think Paramount.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a studio release.
Okay.
But yeah, it's bare bones. Nothing special about it. But you know, glad to have it on Blu-ray now.
I need to
that's
pick
my
that.
number 5. So,
Nice.
All right, buddy. What you got, man?
Cool. I'm
Welcome
running
to the
late.
stream.
I'm ill prepared, but here we go. Right.
The Benny Hill movie.
Eddie Murphy films. Yeah, fucking hell, man. You Americans seem to like Benny Hill more than us Brits do.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of.
Eddie Murphy, I would imagine he's going to ride high on a lot of people's lists. For me, Eddie Murphy, especially through the 80s, well, he couldn't really do no wrong. Everything he sort of touched turned to gold. The films for me, the very first one, second one's 10, third one is worse. The first Cop is for me a classic and one of Murphy's best films. The slight one-liners in it, the sarcastic approach of Eddie Murphy in this, his different style of policing compared to the other guys that he gets involved with is just comedy gold in itself. The constant practical jokes he's pulling on the other police guys. He's fantastic. He's sending them food from hotels. He's doing all kinds of crazy shit. And he in one way he's doing it to piss them off. In other ways, he's doing it because he's actually really a nice guy. He thinks he's helping them out. Still holds up really, really well compared to the other two films in this franchise. Still a laugh a minute. And still probably one of Eddie Murphy's his best films today. So my first choice is the Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
They threw me out of a fucking window.
Yeah.
Threw me out of a window, yeah.
What's next? I get hit by a car. You arrest me for jaywalking?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm moving all around here. Trying to go back in order.
There was a lot to choose from when it came to Eddie Murphy films, but
yeah, man. And the thing about this here is I don't think this is Eddie Murphy's best movie, but it's the one that I still go back and laugh at the most. Yeah. So
even some of Eddie Murphy's his worst is still better than some people's good stuff. You know what I mean? It's Eddie Murphy at a bad day is better than most.
Yeah. But just back in the day when they first announced that, and we heard that Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and Red Fox were going to be in a movie together. I mean, come on, man. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, and when it bombed, after I seen it, man, I was like, Jesus Christ, that was the funniest thing I ever seen. And then you start hearing the reviews and stuff, you know. And of course, back then it was just magazines and newspapers. But you know, everybody was shit on it. It's like, how can you not go to this and not laugh your ass off? You know, it's just comedy gold. But anyway, like I said, it's got a cult following now, which I'm very happy about. All right, so where we left off, we caught up with the chat here, and we'll move on to round number 4. I think this is where we were. Scolder says, number 5, Human Centipede. Great pick.
I watched part 3 of it.
Okay, don't forget Showgirls. Great comedy. Yeah, I guess you can look at it as a comedy. I don't know.
Man got hacked by Gizmo.
Yeah. I think the Bill and Ted shirt takes the cake. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I don't have very many comedy movie shirts. This ain't comedy by no means, but
I don't either, man. Like fucking, all my shirts are horror shirts. This was the closest I could get.
Mine
man.
too. Gizmo. Pops will have Rocky 1 and 2, First Blood 1, Jaws, and Rock 3. Yeah, if I could talk y'all into it, maybe. Heroic Waffles, what's going on, man? What's up, gentlemen? Hope you guys are great.
What's up?
Same to you.
What's going on?
Caveman says Midnight Run is my favorite and was playing when I was an usher at our old theater.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep, it's a good one. I just got that 4K from Shot Salute. Says, come on, Anthony, put some respect on his name. It's DJ Qualls.
There you go. He plays. I'm so glad you called that out, Holland. I was thinking that same thing because I always think about Hustle and Flow and the new guy whenever I see him, and I knew he was a DJ. So yes, I couldn't fucking think of it. So right on, Holland.
DJ Qualls, yeah.
All right, we just seen that one. Show that again. Gizmo said Anthony will have Road Trip, Sex Drive, American Pie, Girl Next Door, and Weird Science.
That's a great lineup. That is a great lineup.
Caveman said Road Trip, little homage, Lambda, Lambda, Lambda.
Yeah.
Another great comedy, by the way.
Yep.
There's a Vinicio, 2 Vinicio, Tammy the T-Rex, Basket Case, Brain Dead, Reanimator, and Dumb and Dumber.
I love Tammy and the T-Rex, man. I don't know. I love that movie.
All right. Holland says, I got worms.
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna call it.
That's what we're gonna call it. I got.
You guys want to trash the place? Leave him a message. He's got worms.
I don't think they're gonna get that message.
Little touch too when they sit down after looking for jobs. They sit down in the living room on the shitty furniture and they pop beers. I don't know if anybody noticed. The bottle caps hit the ground. You can tell it's a concrete floor.
Yeah,
it's the shittiest apartment you could find.
Gee, you're one pathetic loser. So many quotable lines for that, man.
No offense.
Yeah. Samantha says the toilet scene. Yeah, Jeff Daniels made a quote one time that toilet scene was his Oscar moment. That was his Oscar reel. Him on the shitter.
That shit is hilarious, man. Those sounds in his face. Oh.
And I read something when I was doing all my research or whatever that Jeff Daniels was playing golf with Clint Eastwood. And Clint Eastwood had told him that he had seen the movie and was telling him, and Jeff Daniels was waiting for him to just fucking give him shit about the movie. But he actually said that it was funny as hell. It reminded him of, he said that really happened to him at a party back in like the 50s. He was at some big Hollywood party or something, and that happened to him, where I guess he filled the shitter up and couldn't flush it. So,
That's hilarious. It's like a nightmare.
Gizmo said, yeah, Swedish bikini team always makes me so sad. Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Pills are good. Pills are good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pills are good.
I believe I would also put Dumb and Dumber at my number 5.
Yeah.
Movies with Ryan. What's going on, man?
Gizmo, man. I swear we got really similar tastes in fucking crazy shit.
I wouldn't advertise that.
Hey, I'll keep that on the download.
I'm telling you, man. I've been like that, dude. I watch some crazy shit.
Yeah. Ryan said, Pops, you feeling okay? You're live streaming and it's not 11 at night. Yeah, man. We got my buddy UK Anthony. He's from England, and yeah, it's already like midnight over there, ain't it? Something like that, 1 o'clock in the morning. So
we're not too bad at the moment. We are at 25 to 11. Initially, I thought we was going to be streaming later, so I thought, I've got all the time in the world here. And then when I got a notification when I was like 40 minutes from home, going right, we're all back in the room now, chatting, thinking, fuck, I'm nowhere near yet.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, that's why we're earlier tonight. We want to make sure they can join us. We're trying to adjust the time.
I'm sure Gizmo loves that.
Yeah.
I think that fucker has every Arrow release.
Yeah, he has a shitload of them. Yes, Samantha says Paul is hilarious. Dr. Ordinary says, Cabin in the Woods really shows you the depth of Joss Whedon. The man writes a comedy that is a satire of horror with a dialogue serving all three purposes throughout. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
It's one thing and it's something totally different. I really, really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you can be a horror fan, go in and be a comedy fan, whatever. Not even be a horror fan and still enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's entertaining as hell.
Goodness says, Tony, you must not produce babies when you are supposed to be on a stream. We have been waiting. I was scared it was only American films tonight.
Fucking hell, dude. Producing babies, that's well gone out the window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Samantha says Sanford and Sons. Yeah, man. My dad back in the day, if Sanford and Son was on TV, he would literally get the remote and just put it down. He was done. That's where it stayed.
Yeah.
He loves some damn Sanford and Son. So I grew up, you know, I mean, I was born in 71. So I grew up watching the Sanford and Son shows pretty regular. It was a big deal. So I was a big Red Fox fan. Ken Carlson, what's going on, buddy? Harlem Nights is very underrated. Yeah, I agree, man. If you haven't seen Harlem Nights, y'all need to check it out. Like I said, it holds up pretty well, too. Ken says, Murphy said he wrote Harlem Nights script in 2 weeks, but was never happy with it. Yeah. Jamie Hart says, number 5 is Dodgeball, a true underdog story. That's a good one.
Vince Vaughn during the early 2000s, they really, he was cranking them out like crazy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some classics in that. You know what I mean? You're about as much use as a cock-flavored lollipop.
Yeah.
I feel like The Internship is underrated of his, too. That movie's hilarious.
That's a good one. I like that movie.
Yeah. By some of his later stuff, some of his later comedies towards the end of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Somehow they were still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot of fucks. Oh, goodness. Bring some UK hits or okay. Come on, Naked from Sweden. Okay, y'all just read all that. That's too make my brain hurt. I have put money on you. All right. 21 Jump Street. Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, 21 Jump Street is hilarious, man. I remember the first.
So was 22 Jump Street, and that was a solid one too.
Yeah. Yep.
Nick Pilot 77 said, "Dude, where's my card? Needs Blu-ray with decent transfer."
Yes, it does. It does.
That was a phenomenon. That movie was so fucking. Everybody and their brother saw that fucking movie back in the day.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie.
I ain't seen it in a while,
and I haven't been a stoner in a very, very long time.
Yeah. I've never done drugs in my life. I didn't get all the humor. I'll be honest with you, but when they're interrogating the mannequin in front of them, and he's like, "Leave him alone. He doesn't know anything." Like, and it works. Hilarious.
Yeah, it's just the whole tattoo scene as well. You know what I mean? What's my tattoo say? Dude. No, but what does my tattoo say? Sweet. But no, what does my tattoo say? Dude.
Yeah, the scary movie one. Ray fucked me.
Yeah. They did it even better. In Scary Movie.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Scary Movie too. Man.
Yeah. It was time for everyone to show off their shirts. Y'all seen this before? Just Bada Bing from The Sopranos.
It's an old one. The old Dust Till Dawn shirt.
SpongeBob SquarePants pulling his own brain out. That's what I got on mine.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm just glad it's not that other.
You might be able to sit back. Hold on.
Anthony was wearing a hoodie there for a while where he was like a stuffed animal or something, and I really thought that he was having some sort of mental health crisis.
It wasn't a stuffed animal. It was a mogwai.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It was Gizmo.
Look, UK Anthony is a furry. Okay, you guys just have to accept it.
Well, talking about furries, the con we're having today, there was fucking loads of them. What is that shit all about? Just loads of furries. What the fuck?
Are you sure you were in the right place?
I think it was the right con.
Right, guys. So you guys a fan of Moving Violations? 85 underrated comedy in my opinion. I used to rent Moving Violations all the time back in VHS days in the video store.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
I think I got it from Kino. I think Kino put that out. Put a Blu-ray of Moving Violations out. I think I have to check. But yes, it was a funny movie.
Kino, man, weren't we talking about Kino like a month ago, saying that it's going to be any day?
Should be any day. Usually,
we said that.
I mean, it's spring. It's the spring sale, or they've had one that was March Madness. So beginning of March, beginning of April, anytime in here, and it's random. So one day it'll just go live, and they won't say a fucking word about it, and everybody finds it, and it's in a month-long sale. So it could be all of April for all we know at this point.
Yeah.
Samantha Martinez says the end of the world is funny too. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was another fun video, movie theater experience.
Yeah.
I said, I think there is a doc on Love and Death that I made. Look if you find a short doc for 24 minutes called "Inside the Mind of a Splatter Director."
Oh hell yeah! I'm gonna check that out.
Okay, been saying, hey, the movies will run. Samantha says 71 was the year my dad was born. I got you. Wow, that makes me feel old as shit. But yeah. Jamie says Patches O'Houlihan throwing wrenches. Yeah. You can dodge a wrench.
I like it when they do the improv 2 car wash. And it's like they start playing the song too, and it just shows their sad little car wash. They got all the hot girls right across the street. They're getting all the business, and their little car wash just has one really questionable redneck guy there. That's right, boy. Get in there nice and deep, like. And he's like put his finger in his belly button while he's washing the car and shit.
Yes, Scotter's got the quote there. Going on, Trini.
What's up, man?
Everybody glad to see Trini here. It's and then.
And then.
All right, Gizmo. Furry sexuality in UK is as normal as missionary sex everywhere else. I'm still betting on you, Tony. All right. Yeah. Gizmo, bless your heart.
Fucking Gizmo.
All right. Moving on to our number 4 here.
Well, Gizmo called it. So you guys have all been targeted for Shermanation. American Pie 2, man. Yeah, the Terminator in there. You got Stifler and Jim, and Nadia, and everybody. Man, this movie's so fucking funny. I love American Pie 2. This is my favorite one out of the franchise, but they're all really good. It's just a solid franchise from start to finish. I think the first one's actually my least favorite, oddly enough. But yeah, just such a fun movie. I mean, I love it when they're going to the house to prove that they're really lesbians, and they break into the house and they find the dildos and all that stuff. And Stifler's running around the house waving it around and shit. I guess during that scene, the guy that plays Shipbreak right here in the middle, I guess he couldn't control his laughter. So if you rewatch the scene, he's not in a lot of the shots, even though he's right there with them, because he's like cracking up. He cannot stop laughing at the scene because, the lesbians are like, well, we'll kiss and we'll touch and we'll do stuff that you guys do, so stiff.
Doorbell.
Oh,
yeah.
Somebody just got
sorry.
So the guys start,
home.
the guys start making out with each other and shit or whatever to try to get the lesbian chicks to kiss and, play with themselves and all that stuff. I mean, that whole scene is just really great, man. It's just so much fun. You could never get away with that shit today.
Yeah.
That was really good. I love Eugene Levy in this as, Jim's dad. He's so good because he gives the movie a little bit of heart when you need it. It's just like perfect. Allison Hannigan is great as like the love interest and stuff. That like dweeby little nerdy band geek chick, that is totally, she's a nympho. She loves sex, all that stuff. I mean, it's just great. Just, Nadia, of course, hot as hell. Shannon Elizabeth, I don't know. I love American Pie 2. I remember seeing this in high school, cracking up in the theaters, watching it and stuff, and it's always stayed with me. So, American Pie 2.
Yeah, are you like one of those cucks that cried at American Reunion in the theaters? Like,
no.
In the fucking theater watching American Reunion, grown ass men crying their eyes out.
Really?
Like,
were there really grown ass men?
Yeah, it was like a Clerks 3 moment, where it's like they're getting old, we're old. I got a kid now, and it's just like a Niagara Falls.
I thought it was funny because Stifler's finally gets to fuck Finch's mom. Remember at the end of that reunion? So Stifler finally gets to get even with Finch.
Yeah. It's like our generation's Animal House, basically.
Yeah.
I remember
putting it.
the first 3 in theaters, man, and that should be with hell of my buddies fucking watching that in theaters, just cracking up.
Yeah, I think I've seen them all in theaters except for the first one.
I think there is a new one coming out with the whole cast back again. I don't remember if there was even a premise yet, but I think I heard that rumbling that there was.
I heard that too. The premise, I believe, what it was before anyway, was I think they were going to go to Vegas.
Oh God, that's terrible.
I know, it sounds
Make
bad
it a
already.
divorced one or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Hopefully, let's just hope they scrap it, because I think Reunion ended things perfectly. They even brought back, they brought back the jock guy. They brought, his
I mean, what else is he doing? Off-Striker, what else is he doing?
Yeah,
they're all going to come back. Their careers are over. They're all going to come back, and they should. They'll put it like like there was a college one, there was a wedding one, they're kind of bored with life, and they're in the doldrums, and then this next one could be like some of them that got a divorce, some of them are trying to stay together, whatever, or they have teenage daughters or something, or they have teenage kids that are doing the same shit that they were doing. I don't know.
But Off-Striker, he wasn't in American Weddings. I think there was like scheduling conflicts or something. I don't think he could be in it, but he came back for a Reunion, and I thought his character was way better in Reunion than he was in the first 2 films. Like, he was actually like legitimately funny in that movie. So, when he's doing that like dance off scene, you know what I mean? They're like playing his videotape back to embarrass him, and he's dancing, all that. Like, that shit was really funny. But yeah, American Pie franchise, man, can't go wrong.
It's been a while since I revisited those, man. I need to revisit those for sure.
Yeah.
You're still muted, Alan.
Y'all don't want to know the shit I was talking about. I ain't gonna repeat it. Anyway, what I was saying is we don't get a lot of super chats here. Brent, I sure appreciate it, buddy. FYI, not a comedy, but Mako the Jaws of Death 76 Blu-ray from Dark Force looks amazing with 2K scan. Watch today. Underwater scenes, real sharks.
Nice.
I think I own that, man.
Cool.
If not, I'll check it out. Man, I love a damn good shark movie. But Brent, I really appreciate it, buddy. Awful nice of you.
All right, so my number
You were
4
up, sir.
is going to be one that also kind of mixes comedy with horror, and I feel like this is it's not the first time that's been done before, but they do something that's a little bit different. It's going to be This Is the End.
Yes,
and it's funny too because you had it in the fucking intro too. I just love how in this movie everybody's name is the real name, like they're playing themselves, and that in itself, I feel like kind of hasn't been done, and it was done so hilariously. They're all like, "Hey Seth, when are you gonna actually do some real acting, man?" And he's like, okay, let me get the Seth Rogen laughing. It's fucking hilarious to me. And then he goes meets up with Jay, and he's like a hipster. Oh, what he fucking says, he says, "You sure hate a lot of things." He says, "Are you a hipster?" He says, "I don't hate a lot of things." He said, I bet you hate movies that are universally loved." He says, "No, I don't." He said, "Do you like Forrest Gump?" He says, "No, it's a horrendous piece of shit." And it's just fucking hilarious. And I don't know, just their kind of feud relationship is just so fucking perfect. The sets are fucking awesome. There's hella blood in the movie too.
It's crazy, yeah.
So, yeah, it's like an awesome mixture of blood, which I love seeing fucking lots of fucking gore in a movie, mixed with hilarious comedy, I mean, when they take all the drugs, they're doing ecstasy and the fucking Doppelgammon style. Fucking, man, it's just fucking hilarious. And then fucking, what's his name? Jonah Hill gets fucking possessed, and the power of Christ. It's just hilarious. And another funny thing too is I go to Universal Studios every year for Halloween Horror Nights, and they actually had a haunted house of this one year, and it was fucking hilarious, and it was so cool, man. Everything was like black light, really fucking neat, man. I love this movie, and I rewatch this movie all the time. This shit
really underrated. Really underrated. Jonah Hill in it is hilarious. He's like both like evil and super nice. I love when he finally gets taken away. He's like, I was in Moneyball.
Yeah. when he's talking about his dog too, he's I just got this beautiful little dog. Her name is Aja, and he like spells it this fucking crazy ass way. And he's like, she can't really bark right now, so she kind of makes like and like he just makes these sounds. It's fucking hilarious, man.
James Franco's got the white shit all over his face.
Yeah.
Like, James Franco didn't suck anybody's dick last night.
Now I know that's a lie.
I know you guys are full of shit.
Yeah. That's hilarious, man. It just it
pick.
seems like it really was like, their personalities to an extent. They're just like, hey, we're gonna say these few lines, we're gonna have this dialogue, but just act like and
exaggerated versions of themselves. And everybody it's like Craig Robinson's in it. Yep. Everybody that's seen Craig Robinson notices he is always sweating like a whore in church. Everywhere he's at doing everything. He carries a towel around with him for a reason. And they make fun of it the entire movie. He can't change that. They don't care. They still are shitting on him constantly. Craig dancing, sweating all over everybody. It's a really underrated and kind of overlooked movie for some reason.
Yeah. When Danny McBride is making fucking all the breakfast and you see his hands going like this over the fucking it's just random shit like that.
It takes like 30 minutes for them to convince him that there is an apocalypse. Like it's just funny. And he has used all their supplies like immediately. I don't know. It's just it's hysterical.
And then at the end when he has fucking what's that one guy's name?
Channing Tatum.
On a leash, he's like, look at this. This is my bitch. I fuck him every night. It's like, what the hell? He first he didn't believe it, then he went just straight deep into it.
You see this shit right here? I slide right into that shit. Makes him bend over.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Wait, can I have the Milky Way? Well, I'm gonna be a little disappointed if I don't at least get a bite of the Milky Way.
So, okay, well, I'm diabetic, so I need at least a little bit of the Milky Way.
right. That shit's so funny, man.
Hell yeah. Classic.
Yeah. I had a feeling that one's gonna pop up somewhere, man. That's such a classic, man. Great
Hell
movie.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 4 is
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
European Vacation.
Of course, it's European Vacation.
Of course, it's European Vacation. What's your number 1? Austin Powers?
Life of Brian.
There's just certain sections of this film where Chevy Chase does stand out massively. I know as a franchise, everyone does poo-poo this. They do massively. But there are certain sections of this film where Chevy Chase is as good as he is in anything that he's ever done. The whole scene or the whole part of the film where they're in Germany and they're in Bavaria and he does the Lederhosen dance, dude, that fucking shit chokes me every single time I watch it. It is unbelievably funny. And the whole running gag within this film is, especially when he's in Britain, is with Eric Idle. If you know who Eric Idle is, the British actor for the Monty Python stuff. He's constantly Eric Idle down. Like every second he's driving, he's so bad with inside the UK. I mean, the bit where he's trying to navigate the roundabout and he's just going round and round and round, just constantly just stuck on the roundabout, doesn't know how to fucking get up. Can't get left.
Be in Parliament.
But just every point where Eric Idle appears on screen, you know the fucker's going to get run over. Just every single point. So it starts off, but he's really polite about it. Every single time he gets knocked over, he's really polite about him being run down. And throughout the film, you see him with like different bits of plaster. So he starts off with his arm like this, and then he's got a fucking leg. He's got a leg up in the air at the same time. It just stands out for me every single time. And I know it's not everyone's favourite. I know that the Rusty character is not loved by everybody that's in it. The daughter character is not loved. But if you know what I mean, if you can live with those two actors portraying the kids in this one, I do love it. It's just little bits that stand out more than the whole of all the other films together. So European Vacation.
I love that whole franchise, man.
Yeah.
Like, all of them
man.
have their charm.
Yeah, they all have their good points. All of them, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what I mean. Everybody also forgets about Vegas Vacation. You know what I mean? That's one that no one ever seems to talk about proper. It just seems to get skimmed over.
I love Vegas Vacation.
Yeah,
I love
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about Vegas Vacation to me is Randy Quaid steals all the scenes.
Randy Quaid is
man,
off his.
Man, he's my favorite part of the fucking franchise. I mean, anytime he's on screen, man, I'm there. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you pulled that one.
Well, my number 4, let me bring things down a lot. It's a Roger Avery film written by Bret Easton Ellis. It's The Rules of Attraction. I've talked about this movie before on the stream. I'm going to try to keep it brief. That cover does not at all represent this movie. If you look it up on IMDb under the MPAA guidance, it's severe in red in every category. This is a really dark, violent movie, but it is a comedy and it is hilarious if you're into this kind of thing. High school, college comedies, they've been a big thing forever, especially the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a new one coming out every weekend, really, and they were all hitting. And this came out in 2002, and it's the darker side of the college experience. But it is a comedy. There's still lots of comedy in it. The movie covers every kind of addiction imaginable. These people are all disgusting and evil. Nothing is off limits. It's great. I believe the message is basically nothing matters. Again, very pleasant. I think people are put off by the movie because James Van Der Beek is in it, which is really a big mistake because he's excellent in this. He plays this sociopathic, nihilistic, like black-eyed, like almost monster. He plays Sean Bateman, which is the little brother of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho. There's so many hilarious parts in this movie. Sequences. My favorite's the frantic suicide attempt where the character keeps trying to kill himself over and over again, and then the character fakes it just to see, what somebody's reaction would be because he's got all these pills and just shit everywhere. And then somebody finds him and he goes, I know this sounds hilarious, by the way. But somebody finds him and he goes, I really did try to kill myself right before I faked it. I don't know. It's always been hilarious to me. If you got a weak stomach, you're not a fan of anything dark, don't watch this. But I've watched this movie for years and years. This was the high school movie that closer to my high school experience. I really, really like it, and it's aged so well. It's kind of timeless, and this is the closest to Bret Easton Ellis, his writing, to movie form. This is his favorite movie. So anyway, man, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Bro, I don't know what the fuck I've been doing with my whole life, but I've never even heard of that, and it sounds right up my alley.
It's great. It's one of the few things me and Ryan Goes Blue agree on is how great that movie is. We both love that movie. It is dark is not the word. And it's awesome. It's so much fun. It's extremely well shot too.
I gotta buy it, man. That sounds
definitely
right.
Pick it up.
Never heard of it.
I'll check that out for sure. All right. I guess I'll go with this one here. Fuck. So hard to decide. Usually by now I'm locked in. I know what I'm doing next, but yeah, I'm gonna go with this one here. My number 4 is gonna be My Cousin Vinny.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe Pesci classic, man. I love this movie. It came out in 1992, directed by Jonathan Lynn, stars Joe Pesci, Marissa Tomei. By the way, Marissa Tomei won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for this movie. I'm not a huge Marissa Tomei fan because she's never done anything that I enjoyed as much as this. And I think this is one of her first things she's ever done. First thing I ever seen anyway. Also stars Ralph Macchio and Fred Gwynn, the great Fred Gwynn. But basically, you have 2 New Yorkers accused of murder in rural Alabama while on their way back to college. They call for help from one of their cousins, a loudmouth lawyer with no trial experience. And the courtroom scenes with Joe Pesci going back and forth with Fred Gwynn getting thrown for fucking contempt of court every time he goes to the courtroom, fucking with him about what he's wearing. There's just so many classic scenes. And when you get to the end, you start getting hardcore into the case. It's just some of the best shit I think Joe Pesci's ever done. And what's funny is he had just finished filming Goodfellas when he started making this. And actually, when he won, or Goodfellas came out right before this, he had actually won the Academy Award for best supporting actor for Goodfellas, and he was making this movie, right after that award show, and so he came to the set with his Oscar and was showing it to everybody. And there's one scene where he gets a contempt of court. He's spending the night in jail so he can get some sleep, and he's laying in the jail cell. You see a shot of him laying in the bed smiling, and that's the first thing they shot after he won his Academy Award. So or his Oscar. So that was pretty awesome. So I mean, I love Joe Pesci. I wish he was still making shit. I know he's getting much older. They're married in this, or they're dating in this. I don't think they're married. They're just dating. They end up, they're just dating in this. But anyway, he's like 48 years old, and she's like 27. That's their age difference in the movie, but or in real life. But also, there's, like I said, Fred Gwynn and Joe Pesci always got a lot of banter in the movie, a lot of back and forth. They don't really like each other very much. But it says here, despite their characters clashing in the film, Joe Pesci, who plays Vinny, and Fred Gwynn, who plays the judge, were actually good friends in real life until Gwynn's passing in 1993. And Fred Gwynn is like 6'4", 6'5", and Joe Pesci's only 5'4". Yeah. And so in the movie, they try to hide that as much as possible because Joe Pesci. That's what was funny to me about Joe Pesci. Like in Goodfellas, he plays these badasses you don't want to fuck with. And he's a 5'4" little dude, just a real short guy, But there's so many funny scenes of this. When he walks into the pool hall, outside on the sign, it says pool and chicken. You walk inside, there's just a bunch of rednecks in there. You see the guy sitting at the bar stool, big ass chicken leg, just puts it in his fucking mouth and just sucks it right off the bone. So many little things like that when you watch it a few times, it's just fucking hilarious. I rewatched it this afternoon to see if it was going to stay in my top 5. And dude, I still laughed just as much as the first time I ever watched it, man. It's a fucking classic. Ralph Macchio's good in this as well. His friend, I don't remember his name, whatever, but his friend does a great job. Is the kind of the whiny little bitch freaking out. Basically they get accused for murder when all they did was they accidentally shoplifted a can of tuna. They're at this gas station. They get a bunch of food for the road snacks, and he puts a can of tuna fish in his pocket because his hands are full. They realize a little bit later that they stole a can of tuna. It's like, oh shit. They get pulled over shortly after the gas station attendant got shot. Two guys matching their description in a similar car, wrong place, wrong time kind of deal. And so they're in bumfuck Alabama, 2 guys from New York. It's just a great premise. Another road movie, by the way, kind of, sort of. They're not in the car a lot, whatever, but it is a road movie. It's a classic, man. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I love Joe Pesci, and I think this is one of the favorite things I've ever seen him in, a part of Casino and Goodfellas, of course. But I love him in this. I've watched it a million times.
So, what did you say? Utes?
The Utes?
That's the other thing. The 2 Utes, whatever. Yeah. That actually came from director Jonathan Lynn. Actually, where's it at? Yeah, the misunderstanding between Vincent Gambini and Judge Holler regarding the 2 Utes was in fact a real conversation between Joe Pesci and director Jonathan Lynn. Lynn, who was British, at first had a hard time understanding Pesci's pronounced New York accent. He decided that the routine was quite funny, and he put it in the film as a scene.
That's hilarious.
So that's where all that came from. And what's funny is Fred Gwynn's actually a native New Yorker, but Joe Pesci's not. And so it's just kind of also funny. He's playing a redneck from Alabama, a little small town judge, but he's actually a New Yorker making fun of how he's talking. So it's just a great movie, man. It's a good time. It really holds up, to be kind of an older movie, but it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love that guy who's stuttering the entire time.
Oh yeah,
so he's like, I'm getting better.
I forgot about that.
That's another really funny part, by the way. That guy actually has a stutter, in real life, whatever. And he had a hard time finding roles because everybody wanted to cast him, whatever, as the stutter guy,
right?
But he did a great job of that, man. That's one of the funniest parts of the movie.
Hilarious.
Hell yeah, yeah, it's a classic.
Let's get caught up with a chat here, guys. Yeah, I think that's where we left off at. Samantha says the Dazed and Confused car wash scene was better.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Already showed Brent. I appreciate it again, Brent. Thanks for that, buddy. Miss Caveman says dodgeball. There's a guy on the team that dresses like a pirate. Yeah. Wasn't that guy in Firefly?
Yeah.
Steve the pirate.
There's a guy on our team who dresses like a pirate. One guy has like no clue.
Let's hear it for Petey.
Yeah.
Petey.
Samantha says, I definitely throw old school in there. You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
Love Old School. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who directed Old School also directed Road Trip. And
Oh, yeah.
Joker.
Yep.
Yeah, Todd Phillips. Yeah.
Todd Phillips, yeah.
2 out of 5, Anthony.
Yeah, Gizmo can call my whole lineup.
Scolder says, love the theatrical American Pie films, direct-to-video sequels, not so much. Yeah, that's me too. Number 4, Spaceballs, solid.
That's a great pick.
Oh, yeah, John Candy, man.
Solid pick.
Gizmo says, Scolder, there was one of the direct-to-video that was fun. I never remember which one.
That's a Brian question.
Yeah. Man, it says, it's Step Brothers. I'll drop kick that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just
when he puts his balls on the dude's drum set. When he puts his balls on the drum set, man, it's classic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the best bit of that.
Looking around and like measuring things.
Yeah. It's where they're trying to stop the sale of the house going through. And he's dressed up in Nazi regalia, and he's frog marching up and down, going, "Morning, fuckers!
You're gonna love it here. Everybody's so nice."
And then when he's pretending that he OD'd on the floor, he died yesterday.
He's wrapping him up in plastic, digging a hole. The front guy and burying him.
He's like, "What are you doing? I'm burying you.
I'm burying you."
but I'm alive.
We're streaking the quad. Yeah.
Come on, bring your hat.
Jamie Hart, the Comb the Desert Scene, insane fun. We ain't found shit. You're talking about Spaceballs.
We ain't found shit.
And The Hangover, the best 3 friends that everyone could ever have.
So funny, yeah.
I love the fucking Hangover, man. I love it.
Yep.
Caveman says there's something about Mary Franks and Beans. Fire department shows up to save the day.
Fucking Keith David, man. It's so cool.
Oh man, I love him. I love him in that movie.
Mary went to the prom with her boyfriend Woogie hours ago.
I'm just fucking with him.
Dude, I met Keith David at Montrapalooza over here down in LA, man, and he's hella cool, man. He's a really cool guy.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank?
Yeah. Thing all the way up.
And when they finally turn and show it, that little brief moment they show the shit, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
The
Fairley Brothers.
And that was like the
Fairley Brothers are such perverts.
They showed it. I didn't think they were going to show that. You know, it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I love Matt Dillon in that movie too, though. Matt Dillon's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. The teeth.
Yeah, the teeth.
Pay up, choppers.
Zoolander. Yeah. Fucking
Zoolander.
I got the black lung, Pop.
You'll
black lung. Down there one day.
There's got to be more to life than being really, 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 really good looking.
Being really, really good looking.
All right, so Samantha said that's the movie I meant to say, not the end of the world. It was called This Is the End. Yeah.
This is we knew it.
Yep.
Great movie.
All right, that dude Red from Pineapple Express. Who are all the food?
Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a motherfucking scholarship. Yeah, dude. That's a movie that if you don't partake in the fucking left-handed Marlboros, it ain't near as funny. But you watch that movie High, it's up there with Cheech and Chong for a high movie. It's really funny. Really funny when you're high.
I peas all over. Bites it with his fucking foot. I'm like, this fucking guy.
Yeah. And when Danny McBride and Seth Rogen get that big ass fight in the apartment there, goddamn, it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, my cousin Vinny, 2 Utes love this. Yeah, man, it's a fun movie. And it says son-in-law when they try to stick the turkey under the sink to wash it and it wakes up. I ain't seen son-in-law in a long time. Gizmo said, but do you have all the characteristics of a dog? All except loyalty. Best quote ever.
That is from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which that's a Guy Ritchie movie.
I had no fucking clue. I was trying not to sound dumb.
Or Snatch, one or the other, both Guy Ritchie movies.
Lock, Stock's a great film.
Yeah, they're both good films. I mean, I guess you could call them comedies, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Samantha says, Wedding Crashers, where is it? Yeah, you never know. We ain't done yet. Rules of Attraction and Freaking Awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna check that out, man. I might watch that tonight. It was the Rules of Attraction, the movie, in the same universe as American Psycho, or am I mixing that with something else?
Same writer, and when Sean Bateman is the younger brother, the main character is the younger brother of Patrick Bateman. So it's the same writer. It's like a Quentin Tarantino thing. It's all loosely connected.
Yeah. I want some Will Ferrell Talladega Nights at least. Yeah.
I mean, like you said, there's so many really good ones. It's really hard. It was really hard to do this one.
Brian Goes Blue. What's going on, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
Brian, what's up, my boy?
Hey, Brian.
I don't know. Say hey to Brian. You were gonna try to get Brian on here tonight, but I think he had to work. I think so.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. He's going on vacation next week too, and it's just a lot of shit happening. He's not always available like the rest of these fucking degenerates.
Samantha says I should be in this live. Hey, we can work it out. Do it later on. We're doing these things all the time. Just reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
Says, well, my drum set is a guy, so that makes you gay. Brian says the Naked Mile and Beta House are dumb fun with those straight to video American Pie sequels. Bandcamp and the Book of Love suck.
I never watched any of the American Pies that don't have the original cast in it, and I know all the other ones have. But it just, I don't know. I couldn't do it, man.
Okay, it was a Galaxy Quest, R.P. Alan Rickman, by Grabthar's Hammer, by the Sons of Warvin, You Shall Be Avenged. Yeah.
Well,
I took that theater kind of a blind watch. Just went to the movies I went to see what was playing in the theaters. Went and kind of seen that because I like Tim Allen. It kind of blew me away a little bit. It was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
Big, huge fan base. It just recently got a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's a good flick. There's Something About Mary is my number one. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pervert.
Goodman said, need to include a movie on Brad's list. Tropic Thunder will definitely be there. You just have a feeling, and Showgirls should be on everyone's list in my top 5. Yeah. The files are in the computer.
Yeah. They bring the fucking monitor.
Dun 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 dun. Oh! Fuck off.
Galaxy Quest also loves story between Monk, Tony, Shalob, and the alien that he doesn't know she has tentacles.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Brian said, yeah, I'm at work 50 plus hours a week as a bitch. Laugh out loud, but some people work more.
I've been there.
Yeah, man. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, man. That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking horrible.
Slums of Beverly Hills is an underrated comedy. There are so many good comedies not on Blu-ray yet. It's insane.
Yeah, comedy is so out of favor, and it's just they don't ever.
Yeah,
there's so many DVDs that never get blues. That never got blues from comedy.
Steve Mars, what's up, Pops and Flick Friends? What's going on, Steve? Tom Hanks' The Bachelor Party is my favorite comedy. Yeah, man, that's
a solid pick.
That's a solid pick, and a lot of people don't talk about Bachelor Party, man. That's that was great.
Pure 80s.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the early Tom Hanks comedy stuff is brilliant. Money Pit, Jover to the Volcano, Man with One Red Shoe. There's fucking loads of his early career.
Yeah.
We mentioned Joe Pesci earlier. Joe Pesci probably has more comedies than any other genre in his resume. He did tons of comedies in the early 90s and late 80s.
I ever on Fishing with him and Danny Glover.
Yeah.
That was. I feel like that's like an underrated little fun movie.
Yeah, The Super, where he plays a slumlord. I mean, there's a million 8 heads in a duffel bag. He's done a bunch.
Oh, 8 heads in a duffel bag. I forgot about that one.
Fun one too, man.
That's a good one.
But the one thing that I was reading when I was doing the research on my cousin Vinny is that's the first starring role where he was the main star of the movie that became a huge hit. The rest of them all kind of flopped, whatever. But that was the first one that made a shitload of money.
Nice.
Yeah, I've heard people say like kids that don't know, look at kids like I'm 100, but kids that like they'll see Home Alone and go, oh, Joe Pesci. Why would they make Joe Pesci the funny guy? Why is he being funny in this? Like, well, he's really a comedic actor. If you look back at his resume, more than a gangster. Yeah. He's only been a gangster just a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just does it so fucking good
Yeah.
that it's hard to not,
Yeah.
put him in that box.
Oh, absolutely.
He
I hear Joe Pesci. I think Casino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert De Niro does it really well too, man. Meet the Parents.
Yep.
Meet the Parents, unbelievably good. Like, who would have thought he'd been that good at that?
Yeah, I fucking love Meet the Parents.
I got.
There's a couple cool little things at the end of There's a couple cool little things at the end of my cousin Vinny that I kind of picked up on. When you see Fred Gwynn for the last time he's waving by, he has the same wave as he's doing Herman Munster. He's the same little shot. It's a quick shot. It looks like he's waving like he's Herman Munster. And the last thing Joe Pesci says when they say, "What are you going to do now?" He's like, "I guess I'm going back to New York or something like that." Well, the very next movie he does was Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, that's
so kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just a couple things I picked up on. So we'll go on and start our round 3.
Number 3.
Yeah, man. I got Airheads.
Oh yeah.
Super like nobody talks about this movie.
Yes.
I love this fucking movie. It really needs a new Blu-ray. Like they need to it's got a Blu-ray, but it's extremely expensive now or whatever, so they need to re-release it or give us a 4K or something for this. Man, I had to get the DVD just because that's all you can really get for cheap, for
it needs to be a keynote release. It'd be a great keynote release.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
But you got Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi, Adam Sandler. I mean, it's such a stacked cast.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley's in it. He's hilarious. I mean, it's so good. I mean, just these guys that are just trying to have their song played, over the air, just trying to be rockers, man, live that rocker life and everything. And I think it's funny. The guy that they wanted to play Chaz originally was John Cusack. Could you picture John Cusack in this role? I can't even picture him with like long hair, like a rocker style. I can't even picture that. But yeah, that was funny. They have that song "Degenerated," which was originally performed by Reagan Youth, from the '80s. And I really like that song in this. I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when they're explaining their name. They're like, "We're the Lone Rangers," and he's like, "Well, can you pluralize Lone Rangers?"
Lone Ranger. You'd be the 3 Rangers,
right?
And Adam Sandler's like, "I don't know what you're talking about right now."
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The music in this is great. It's just really, it's very rewatchable. I mean, I find myself putting this on like anytime I just want like a nice chill movie. I'll just go ahead and put this one on. I mean, I've watched it like a ton since I bought this DVD. It's just a blast, man. I mean, I just love this whole cast. They all play off of each other really well. Like you believe that these guys are all friends in real life. They've just got that camaraderie down. But yeah, that's about it, man. If you haven't seen Airheads, definitely go check it out. You'll have to probably buy the DVD, but it's worth it.
I think I heard something from Brian a while ago about that coming back into print from somebody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think Brian was telling me that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He's still out there in the chat, but maybe you can clarify that.
I'm sure he's already coming up with
it. Ernie Hudson's in it too. He plays like the lead cop. He's great. I mean, it's just.
Well, they start asking for weird shit so they can plead insanity later, and they're like, "Yeah, I want a dozen copies of Moby and the Dick." And it's like, "You want the book or Moby Dick? You want the book or the movie? You want the book or the movie? They made a book out of that? Yeah, get the book.
Get the book. a baby bottle filled with cream or cottage cheese.
There was a football helmet filled with cottage cheese.
Oh no, a football helmet. Yeah, they wanted a giant baby bottle, and then they wanted a football helmet filled with cottage cheese, and they wanted naked photos of B. Arthur.
Yeah,
shit's so good.
All right, so my number 3. It's crazy that I have another fucking Jonah Hill movie. I just kind of noticed that. But this one is going to be Get Him to the Greek. I fucking love this movie so much. I watch this movie all the time. The premise of it is just so genius to me. It's this fucking rocker that fucking, he had a huge time that he was really big, then got hooked on drugs, then got with a girl, and they were both rock stars together. Then they both got on drugs and they both split up. I mean, they show it in the ways of the media and everything. And he works at a record label, Jonah Hill, and basically has to get him to his concert that he thought of, his reunion concert. And just along the way of trying to get this guy there, it's so fucking hilarious. You know, he's trying to control him, but this guy just wants to like drink and do coke and party and all this stuff, and it is just a hilarious ride. When he's at the fucking thing, he's like, okay, yeah, we'll go to the hotel right now. Let's go. Then he stops. He's like, hey, Aaron, have you ever tried absinthe? he said it's something blood from the Middle East or something like that. And then they fucking drink and start hallucinating, and he's just fucking, you know, he's just happy to hang out with the rock star. And then also his ex-wife, her songs that she has in that thing are hilarious. She's like, what did she say? It's a ring around my posy. Yeah. What am I talking about? I'm talking about my asshole. Because like the whole time you know it's about anal, and then she says it too. My asshole. Oh, Jackie Q.
I gotta clip that.
This movie had me dying the whole way through, and I feel like it keeps up with that the whole time. At the end too, he says with the furry walls, he's oh man, I love this is what did he say? This is what 70s pussy used to feel like. He's I'm gonna put my whole inside of my house with this shit on. And it's like, it's hilarious. And he says, look at me, Aaron, I'm eating my own head. And he's like, the little fucking loose head. It's just so funny, man. This movie cracks me the fuck up every time, and it's a great story too, and it's crazy good production. Even the songs, like I went through her songs, but his songs are hilarious too. He has a song called Slap, where it's like basically it's talking about itching and shit, like he has fucking STDs. It's like, what the fuck? It's hilarious, and people are like in the fucking audience just the clap, you know, like it's just hilarious. Get him to the Greek classic movie. Fuck, I love it so much.
Wait a minute, you like the song African Child, right?
Yeah. Brush my teeth to it.
Oh, shit, man.
Yeah,
I love they're
awesome,
shooting the music video for that too, and they're shooting it in Africa.
Yeah. So I'm like a white black Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh. Okay. My number 3 is 2008's role models. Sean William Scott, Paul Rudd. Together, these two guys in this are fantastic. This screams to me because anybody who knows me knows I'm an absolute fantasy nerd, and the whole premise of the whole comedy thing about this film is about Christopher Mintz. How do you pronounce his name? Christopher Mintz Platts, is it? The dude here,
McLovin, yeah.
McLovin, yeah.
Yeah, McLovin, yeah. He's a LARPer, which is a live action role playing. And Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott work for a energy drinks company, and Paul Rudd just gets fucked off with it all. Ends up smashing the company truck into a big bull outside of a college, and it looks like the truck's shagging the bull. So the police turn up. They both get 150 hours community service. So within that 150 hours community service, they've got to go to a place called Sings, which helps kids that are struggling at home with families. But they put these two guys in charge of 2 kids. One kid that's into live role play, and another kid that's just obsessed with tits. And the comedy pursues. The whole thing with this is the whole music, everything about this is a Kiss back catalogue. And the whole thing all the way through is Love Gun. So if you know the song Love Gun, and Sean William Scott is trying to tell the kid the lyrics to Love Gun and what it's about, and he said it's just about Jewish guys fucking. But the kid's like 9-year-old, and he's trying to explain to him that it's just about Jewish guys getting pussy. And at the end of the film, the 2 guys sort of come around and help the kid out with the whole live action role playing thing. And all four of the characters dress up as Kiss to go live action role playing with. It is really, really good. I think it's one of those films that came and went and not many people remember. It is dirt cheap in the UK this DVD, this Blu-ray is like £1. You can get it for next to nothing. I mean, if you've never seen it, it's definitely worth the watch. Paul Rudd is good. I like Paul Rudd in most things. Sean William Scott, I can take him or leave him, but the two of them together in this, it works really well. It is a really good film.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I own that one too. That's hilarious, man. Another Sean William Scott movie, though. I mean, he's great at playing that character, man. He really is.
Yeah, but that's what you're paying for.
Exactly.
That's the same guy. Yeah, that's the thing. He has no range, but what he does, he's good at it.
Yep.
Did you ever see Fanboys, Anthony?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's with the Star Wars kids going to the you probably like that.
I like it when they meet up with the Star Trek guys.
Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
They start fighting. That's actually Seth Rogen too, and all that that makeup and shit. He plays like two characters.
all the Klingon makeup.
Yeah, so good.
That's awesome, man.
Well, my number 3, ready to bring the mood down again. 2004, directed by Alex Payne. He also did About Schmidt, another darker kind of comedy, but it's sideways. This is old sad bastard comedy material. Like me and Brian talk about that kind of genre a little bit. It's a subgenre. This is it's a comedy for adults, I guess, like an older crowd. But I saw this movie in 2005, so that should. I've been old my whole life. This is a 2004 movie. Best friends of 20 years, Miles and Jack go on a bachelor trip to wine country. Again, this sounds hilarious. Going to fucking wine country to hang out. But a week before Jack's marriage, they're in their late 30s, early 40s. It's really about their friendship. They've been best friends since college, and they're totally opposite. I feel it's really relatable. You make these lifelong friendships when you're young, and you're really not the person that you're going to become, essentially. And by the time it's over, all you have is the loyalty from back then in common. And that's really obvious with these two. Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church are the stars here. Paul Giamatti plays this really pathetic loser so well that you believe the character. You believe he is the character. And Thomas Hayden Church, equally great as his chimp-like best friend, who's, the total opposite again. One's all brains and one's all balls. And the other one has no balls and the other one has no brains. So, I mean, they really complement each other, and it really carries the story. They really do look out for each other, and they really do care about each other, but at the same time, they know each other. So it's like they call each other on their bullshit the whole time too. Anyway, it's their dynamic is hilarious. I love that whole approach. Like, to use an example, like Alan, it seems like his high school appearance was like Varsity Blues mixed with Porky's, and my high school experience was like The Rules of Attraction. But we wouldn't have got along in high school, but we get along now. And just imagine, they're totally different from each other, and they're still best friends. They still have each other. It's a really fun dynamic, and it really carries the movie. Some of the great lines in it. He goes into this rant about Merlot. I won't go into it, but for Merlot, apparently to wine snobs is like the RC Cola of sodas to people that drink Coke. Yeah. So I love that whole bit. And Paul Giamatti's character, you could tell he's a fuck up in every sense of the word. He can't get it together. And you could tell he's contemplated suicide. And he says, I can't kill myself. I've never accomplished anything. You can't accomplish nothing and then kill yourself. You got to write a book or something before you do it. But anyway, I don't know if this is for everybody, but I've been watching it for years. It's one of those movies. It's like Anthony was saying, I could put this on anytime and just watch the whole thing through. So if you're an old sad bastard, this is the movie for you. Definitely check it out.
Brad, I fucking love Sideways. I know I've told you that a bunch of times. I had a feeling you might pull it, but that easily could have been on my top 5. I love Sideways, and it's a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy, but it's fucking great. I mean,
if you get it, you get it. I don't think it's for everybody, but I mean, that character is so funny and Like everybody knows somebody kind of like a Miles, where it's just like this motherfucker is telling his best friend, like he's already 2 hours late. I'm walking out the door and he's literally just starting to get dressed. He's getting ready to get in the shower, and then he takes another like 2 hours before he gets there. And it's like everybody knows that asshole that is just always fucking late, and he just can't get his shit together no matter how much help he gets.
That's the second movie you pulled tonight that I've never even heard of. Fuck, man.
I've heard of. I've never.
Yeah,
seen
I've not heard of that.
That's
one
a California movie.
I've never heard of it.
Vinicio.
You're giving me a list, brother. Though you're giving me a list, so it's cool.
Yeah,
that's part of what this is all about, man.
Yep.
Yeah, part of it's the recommendations. I mean, that's what we do this stuff for. Is you want to find some new shit.
Yeah,
no doubt. All right, my number 3. This is another one I grew up on. I seen this in theaters way before I probably should have. Movie came out in 1983. I'd have been 12. I remember seeing this in theaters, fell in love with it. I've watched this movie countless times. And similar to my European friend there, I had to pick the original Vacation.
Okay.
This was started it all. Yes. Great franchise. I like all the movies in the franchise. This is probably, I kind of go back and forth between this movie and Christmas Vacation as being my favorite, but this is where it's all at. This is where it all started. I think this is my favorite Chevy Chase movie, and he's got quite a few that I do enjoy. But this one here, man, I remember when I first seen it in theaters, like I said, it just fucking blew me away. I like the kids in this movie are the best. You got so many funny scenes. Of course, like I said before, Randy Quaid, anytime Cousin Eddie's on the screen, he just steals the fucking show. With that whole part where they show up there at Cousin Eddie's house, all the back and forth when they're having a cookout, and you got the girl stirring the Kool-Aid with her fucking arm. He's commenting on real tomato ketchup, Eddie. And then you got the fucking kids on the seesaw. And then you got fucking, they're saying, hey, do you got asteroids? He says, no, but my dad does. He says sometimes you can't even sit on the toilet. And then the fucking next day they bring out the fucking dog. He says, this is Dinkum's, whatever his name was. He says, he had the shit, so last night he had to sleep in the barn. He's like, just fucking miserable fucking dog, biting at their fucking ankles. And then, of course, later on, he ties them to the fucking bumper, and the visual of them driving down the road, it's like the poor little guy probably kept up for the first, couple miles, thinking about his fucking dog running 30 miles an hour by the fucking car. It's just a fucking visual, man. It's just, I could quote so many things about this movie. Then you get to the fucking end, and one of my favorite people of all times, John Candy's at the very end. They paid John Candy $1 million for his scenes at the end of that movie. But John Candy's character, sorry folks, that whatever. On the roller coaster when he shoots him in the ass with a BB gun. Yeah. It's not even a real gun, Clark. This is a Magnum PI. You can't even break the skin. He'd break the skin, leave a really bad infection. And he shoots him in the ass. Oh my God, it's so funny. Chevy Chase and John Candy were supposed to ride in the same car during the roller coaster scene. But because of John Candy's size, the two of them couldn't fucking fit. So that's why Anthony Michael Hall and John Candy are sitting in a car together. Because Chevy Chase and him couldn't fit in the same fucking car. They said that a lot of the actors got sick on those rides because they had to do the shots so many different times. So they had like the daughter kept on like having to lay down on park benches because she got nauseous and shit like that. And Anthony Michael Hall said in the DVD commentary, it's probably on here too, that basically he said that the fear you see on their faces was absolutely terrible. He says that John Candy was really freaking out. And all the shit you see John Candy doing, he said all that shit was just natural. He said that wasn't acted or anything like that. And he said it was some of the funnest shit he's ever done. But I love shit like this. You see him on the roller coasters, you feel like you're there with them. Ride the fucking rides with them. It's done really well. It's just a fucking classic, man. This is my fucking childhood. I've watched this movie so many times. I rented it so many times. I bought it on VHS, every format it's ever been on. Exciting, the 4K's coming out. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm leaving out all kind of shit I want to say. I'll check my notes, see if I'm leaving anything out. I did take some notes on this. Many bits of the film are improvised, including Clark's dance with his sandwich when he's like flirting with Christy Brinkley and he's fucking eating the sandwich and the dog pissed on the fucking picnic basket. All that was improvised. Clark's send-off when he's doing the prayer after Aunt Edna dies and he ties her ass to the top of the car. When he goes and puts her on the fucking back porch, whatever, and he's doing his little prayer where he's like, I'm not a fucking ordained minister. All that was ad-libbed. Of course, you got his freak out scene in the fucking car. That's classic. I mean, that's comedy gold. Yep. the theme park that served as Wally World was actually Six Flags Magic Mountain in Valencia, California.
Yep.
The roller coaster referred by Clark as the Whippersnapper is actually called the Revolution and was the first roller coaster to have a 360-degree vertical loop. I already read that part about how come they couldn't sit in the same car on the roller coaster. Premiere Magazine voted this movie as one of the 50 greatest comedies of all times in 2006. And Harold Ramis, who directed the movie, the voice of the recorded message on Marty Moose when they got to the park and it was closed, saying that Wally World was closed for maintenance, that was Harold Ramis' voice. And this was also written, even though it was directed by Harold Ramis. Oh, where's the top of it? The screenplay was written by John Hughes. It was based on a short story he did called Vacation 1958, kind of based on a vacation his family took when he was 5 years old. So it's a great movie, man. It's just an all-time classic. It's an American classic. European Vacation, it's almost as good.
Oh.
I love everything in the franchise, and don't get me wrong, European Vacation has some great scenes too. I watch them both all the time, so I like both of them. But yeah, man, this is a banger for me.
Another road trip movie.
Yep.
Another road
trip movie. It's like
road trip movie.
Half these are like road trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man. Again, I love that franchise.
Yeah, man, it's so much fun. And it was hard to decide between that and Christmas Vacation, which one to throw in. But I don't like it. This is the OG. This is the original. So I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I think Christmas Vacation is still my favorite, but then that one's next, then Vegas, then European.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too.
Yeah, it's probably about average. Yeah.
Where did we leave off at here? I think this is it. Sorry if I missed anybody. I revisited Trial and Error from 97 just months ago. Only had it on DVD, but it was fun as hell. Brian Goes Blue says, Outside Providence is the one I go back to often that I just love. Written by the Farley brothers, and Alec Baldwin as the dad calling his son Dildo throughout the movie kills me.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, neither. Even Zombieland was funny. Zombieland, that was considered a little bit. Mark says, Pops, let me hear that twang. What's going on, Mark?
5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Pop's accent.
Brian says, I heard that Airheads was getting a re-release, but I forgot what company. It'd be a day one purchase.
Yeah,
definitely. Day one. Yeah, Samantha says, you called it, Brian. R.I.P. Yeah, Chris Farley, man. I watched the Chris Farley movies getting ready for this, man. He was he was like our fucking generation's John Belushi. You know, imagine what he could have done if he was still around. You know,
Exactly.
He would have been an old school Anchorman. He would have been in all those movies.
Yep.
All of them. Every single one of them. He would have been in those.
Yeah.
One that people don't.
The Adam Sandler movies also.
All of the Adam Sandler movies for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
One that people don't talk about a lot is Almost Heroes.
Yeah.
That's really with Matthew Perry.
Him and Matthew Perry are great in it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Holland says, I just pound the drums and do the Africa face.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
Face. It looks hilarious.
This man says the furry walls.
Yeah.
Number 3 for Jamie is Anchorman. Man,
Yeah,
that's
Chris
another
Farley
movie
would have been in
a lot of quotes.
He would have been an Anchorman, and you just imagine him at the big battle royale that they have. Chris Farley.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yes, man. Says Superbad better be on here. Man, that's
good to see it.
Another one of my favorites.
Yep.
Mark Jones says Sideways sucked.
What you really think, dude?
Archive Blues says Sup All. I freaking love Sideways. Great choice.
There you go.
Ben, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man? Rob W says Brad, being a Sideways fan, did not see that coming.
I also enjoy Matlock. Apparently, I'm elderly. I don't know what to tell you.
I love
Murder She Wrote, Matlock, Heat of the Night, all that shit.
Dude. Lump was the shit. I love it.
Yeah.
He still watches the evening news and Wheel of Fortune every night.
Yeah, I go to 9 p.m. lights out.
Jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh, Price is Right is probably still my favorite, man.
I think there's, I'll go Freudian here. Like, I went such a different direction from all my childhood friends. I stayed in the hometown. Kids I grew up with, 5 years old. Like they went out of high school and just went straight to like they were all fucking losers essentially. And I just like I went straight into my own business, finance, stuff like that. So it's just like all those years coming back, I have nothing in common. We don't have anything to talk about, but remember when. No. So like, I guess that was probably about maybe that's why I like it so much, because these two have fucking nothing in common. They're nothing alike, and they're stuck with each other essentially. Because they were, they have that bond still.
Yep. Right. Man said, if Anchorman isn't on here, I'm going to be sad. That's the thing, man. There's all the ones you're talking about. These are all fucking just bangers, man. Like I said, we could redo this, and I could pick a whole other 5 movies and still just
easily.
Easily.
There's so many movies. This is like, man, to have a fucking even your honorable mentions. I mean, all those things could just be the biggest stack. So there's a few I mean, I could probably put in my honorable mentions, but I just to save time, I didn't.
Yep.
Right. Like we said earlier, a million times already, this was the toughest top 5 I've ever done by far.
Like I said, we're for sure gonna have to do a sequel, man. A part 2.
Another 5. Yeah, do another 5. Yeah.
Yep. All right. This man says, or Elf.
You could do a top 5. Somebody could have Elf, and they're all Will Ferrell movies. I mean, you could easily do that, and nobody would complain about it because he's done a lot of great, or Chris Farley, or any of these guys, Adam Sandler. Some of these guys have had great careers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say something controversial here, but I fucking hate Elf. It's a fucking god awful film.
I literally I passionately love that movie too. It's not even just that movie. Like, it's hilarious and it brings joy to my existence. Like, there's just something about it, man. I love that movie.
We're gonna have to settle this. We're gonna have to settle this old Navy rules. First one to die loses.
Are you a huge fan of Christmas or no?
Yes. Yeah. But it's the whole Will Ferrell thing. I either love him or hate him. Certain films I think are fantastic. Certain things I fucking hate. Talladega Nights is another one. Cannot stand the film. God awful film.
I'm in the middle on that.
Well, that's just un-American. That's just un-American. You hear that?
This is American. We speak American.
Anthony doesn't even put up a Christmas tree.
I'm huge for holidays, man. I love Christmas. I love Halloween. Love all that shit.
All right, man. It's to talk Star Wars and switch to Star Trek. You're killing me.
Yeah.
Steve Morris says, I underestimated Sideways. It's one of the best buddy flicks on a road trip. It's such an adventure.
Yeah, it's an odyssey, but it's realistic. I don't know, it's grounded in reality. That's what I like about it. It's such a small little movie, and they know each other so well the whole time they're calling each other on their bullshit. You need to stop negging this whole thing, and the other guy's like, you need to stop trying to fuck everybody. Okay, we're on your, you're getting married Saturday. Like, I don't know. I've always enjoyed it.
I got to check it out.
So Sideways was good. I did not laugh much. It was more of an arty party French kind of slow burn with a warm heart, but I let it pass Brad, and yes, I know it's U.S.
Yeah, that's why he hates it.
Anchorman, that's such a quality movie, man.
I like Anchorman. Anchorman's a good film.
I love a movie. There's a lot of this in Anchorman, but I love a movie where, you can tell while they're filming it that they did 30 takes because the other actors kept fucking laughing. And sometimes they leave that shit in there. My favorite thing in comedies is when you see somebody crack up on screen and they just say, "Fuck it, that's the best we got. We're gonna let it stay."
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah, that's some of the funny shit.
Champ Kind, just that rant where he goes on about how much he loves Ron Burgundy, how he misses his Musk, and when this whole thing gets sorted out, we should get an apartment together. It was 100% ad libbed.
Yeah,
just to try and make the other guy, break.
But Will Ferrell and Christina Applegate are sitting at the table. They're getting warmed up for the broadcast, and Will Ferrell's doing all that crazy shit. And you see Christina Applegate, man. If you watch the bloopers on that, it's just he's killing her.
Yeah.
Another funny Will Ferrell one is the campaign. I feel that one's kind of
it's a very underrated.
I don't know
that is hilarious.
Yeah, him and Zach Galifianakis are running for political office against each other.
Yeah. That is an epic little duo right there, man. They're both hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Gizmo says the three first vacation movies is great. They are films you can see many times every year.
Yep.
We will now use the power of the
Continuum transfunction.
Continuum transfunction. Continuum transfunction.
Those guys are Norwegians.
Norwegians
that are saying that line. That's why he loves that bit.
Great one from the 80s, From the Hip, Judd Nelson, John Hurt, and Elizabeth Perkins. I remember that movie, but I don't remember much about it.
No, I don't remember that one.
National Lampoons.
Yeah.
Grown Ups, y'all are killing me. Scream, cult classic comedy.
Yep.
Grown Ups, yeah. They bust each other's balls the whole time.
Yeah.
Baby Yaga, what's going on? So I married an axe murderer. The line from the dad telling his kid to move his big head makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Love it.
Heat, dude, heat. Look at it. It's like fucking Sputnik.
Yeah. I was looking at that one too. That is a great movie.
Yeah.
God.
That's a really fun one.
All right. Like Turno says, I believe the car from Vacation is at Six Flags that I remember. That's pretty cool. The family truckster.
Same.
Yeah.
You hate it now. Just wait till you drive it. Did you hear the British furry fun?
Yes, you did get as well.
Yeah, Mark Jones says the Hangover has to be on your list. Yeah, the fucking turmoil of this stream, dude. Yeah,
this was.
Samantha says that when they drag grandma by
the car.
Oh yeah, Vacation.
Yeah.
They go to the fucking campsite. And it's like, oh, Clark, this tent smells. Yeah, this is your tent. Mark Jones says the funniest scene of all time is the dinner table scene in The Nutty Professor. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's just
that's pretty classic. That's pretty classic.
It's insane. I mean, everything about it, and like Eddie Murphy playing every role.
Yeah,
at the table. It's crazy.
Hercules.
The only breakthrough you're going to have is your ass about to break through the seat of your pants.
Well, did you call
my colon cleanses? I'm gonna clean my colon thoroughly, squeaky clean. It says great '80s movie, but probably little known. From the Hip, Judd Nelson. Yep.
Yeah.
What's the next, Brad? Little Miss Sunshine or maybe Crybaby?
Crybaby. Oh yeah.
Crybaby last year for the first time, man. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. That's what? Who is that? John Waters? Crybaby?
Johnny Depp.
No, who's the director? I mean,
I don't know.
I think
it might be a John Waters movie.
All right, Brian says women be shopping. They're talking about this.
Yeah,
Professor, that's true. Women do like to shop. That line in the Professor is hilarious to me.
God damn, you can't keep a woman from shopping.
Yeah. My killer pause says, Cass, what's going on, Mel? Hey there,
What?
Pops and
No.
Highlights. What's up, Mel? Wild Wrangler says, "Hey, late. No, I'm glad you're here, man."
Hey, Wrangler.
What's up, man?
Mel saying hey back to Holland. Everybody saying hello. All right, Gizmo says, "How in the name of F did you get that? I hate sideways. I said I liked it. I said it's arty party, whichever. I think he means artsy fartsy. I think
artsy fartsy.
And I said it feels French. Stop making me Hitler bread."
This says the guy that references Hitler and Hitler movies daily.
I manage it fine by myself.
I was just gonna say, man,
any given opportunity,
more often than since I've known Gizmo.
Yeah, Wild Runs with I love Airplane, man. Airplane might be the best spoof comedy movie of all time. I mean, it's kind of what started everything.
Yeah,
you know?
like
and,
the original.
Said hey to Wrangler. All right, Gizmo to Wild Wrangler says hello and welcome to the Wild Wild West. Pop keeping the British furry party alive. Okay. And Crybaby is John Waters, Jamie said.
Yeah.
Hard Copy Blue says my favorite Nutty Professor scene is when Eddie Murphy goes back and forth with Dave Chappelle. Hilarious scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether to smile at you or still go.
It's good. It's all good.
It's good.
Yeah. Spandex. All spandex.
Yeah. Which spandex section?
All right, man. We are moving right along here. Down to number 2 already.
Yeah, and we got Mallrats for number 2.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Mallrats, man. It's funny. Brad told me about this stream, and I didn't even know about it. He just told me about it, and I literally watched this like a couple nights before. That's how often I watch Mallrats. It's just one of those movies I put on, just in the background, whatever. If I'm sorting through movies or just trying to relax, whatever, I'll just put on Mallrats. It's like the perfect, I've always related to the Brody character, the nerdy comic book collector, kind of angry guy, whatever. Like, I love Brody's character in that movie. Yeah, Jason Lee, plays him. Jason Lee in all of Kevin Smith's movies, he's always great. It's a shame that he had to start doing like those chipmunk movies and all that shit because he's so much better than that. He's so much better than that. It kills me. His comedic timing's like perfect. Originally, they wanted Seth Green to play Jason Mewes in the movie. I don't know if you guys can picture Seth Green, the little redhead, playing that. I mean, Seth Green's funny, but I guess Kevin Smith kind of had to fight to get Jason Mewes in there, But yeah, apparently Kevin Smith had to sell a lot of his, comic book collection and stuff to fund Clerks. And in this movie, you see Jason Lee, and he's got, Brody. He's got, this huge, massive comic book collection. That is all of Kevin Smith's comic book collection that he had to buy back over time, because he sold it all for Clerks. So he bought that over time, and that's actually his comic books in the background there. You got Stan Lee making a cameo in this film. I love that. It's great. It fits right into the nerdy theme. You got Stan Lee, and then Stan Lee and Kevin Smith would end up to become pretty good friends. They were actually really close. All the way up until Stan Lee's, death. I mean, they were friends and stuff. They worked on a lot of stuff together, and just overall, it just. You got Michael Rooker in this film. He's fucking hilarious. I love that game show that they have at the end too, where they're trying to, match them up together and everything. He's like, "Can you please not call me number 2?" It kind of makes me sound like, I'm shit, or something, like I gotta take a shit. It's just, I don't know. There's just a ton. It's just one of those movies I put on all the time and I watch it. I will say this about Mallrats. Don't watch the director's cut of it, the Kevin Smith cut. It's not, for me, for my personal taste, I really don't like his cut of the film. I'm glad that the studio pulled the reins back on Kevin Smith, and they were like, no, let's not do all that stuff. So for me, I like the theatrical cut of Mallrats the best. But yeah, man, Mallrats. It's just a ton of fun. Kevin, one of this and Clerks are like just so neck and neck. But yeah, Mallrats, love it.
Can anybody guess what Anthony's number 1 will be?
We'll see.
Yoga hosers.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny too, man. I've never seen Mallrats until I first got this Arrow release, man. And I loved it, man. I loved it a lot. So yeah, that's a movie. But yes, my number 2 is gonna be The Hangover. Yes. And when it comes to The Hangover, man, I almost like them all equally too. They all have the same kind of I don't know. It's like they did lightning in a bottle 3 times to me, man. I feel like the story in this movie too is so fucking unique. They basically go to Vegas, get drunk, and then you see the next day and they're all fucked up, and it's just like, so the whole movie's basically what happened in that time frame of that, the fact that they don't remember, man. And just everything that happens in here is just so hilarious, man. It's like, I don't know. I feel like, if you're a drinker, you kind of, it's over exaggerated of what can really happen, and it's just so hilariously done, man. From everything, Mike Tyson making a fucking cameo in this, man, and fucking, but so man, he still got it. Mike still got it. And then they show also fucking later on, they're like humping the fucking tiger and all this shit. It's so fucking hilarious. you know, I just love the unique story about it too. You know, like I said, they're just trying to figure out what happened in that huge gap there. And man, this movie, I can rewatch this whole series so many times. Chow, you know, it's a fucking hilarious character. You try to fuck on me, you know, it's just this movie is another one that's extremely quotable. And I think, I've seen all these ones in theaters too, man. It was just an amazing experience, man. I was just hilariously laughing through the whole fucking thing. All three of these movies are fucking classics.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And when it finally shows at the very end, they find the camera.
Yeah.
And they finally go back and show all the pictures. What a fucking great way to end that movie.
I know.
You get, oh dear Lord, and then the credits are the pictures.
Yeah.
You know, it's so fucking well done.
Man, and that's the thing. The movie's just so brilliantly written, fucking directed. You know, it's just it's brilliant, man. It's a fucking brilliant comedy.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's one of my favorites, man.
It's really hard to beat it.
Yeah.
Not, I did enjoy the original more than the sequels, but I think the original set the bar so high for me that I still rewatch the sequels. I do enjoy them, but I felt they kind of fell off a little bit from the original. The original is obviously my favorite. I do still enjoy the sequels as well.
Yep.
It's been a while since I watched 3, but for me, man, part 1 and part 2 are like literally neck to neck, man. They're pretty on par for me. You know, they're all so unique though, man. They kept that going really, really well.
And you know what's funny? Yeah. It's another Todd Phillips directed movie.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, dude. Todd
Another
Phillips,
road movie also.
to make a good
Another road movie.
Yep.
Another road movie
He had a good drama with Joker. I mean, so he works on both ends of the spectrum, you know, when it comes to that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, he's a really talented
And Zach Galifianakis is fucking great in this, man. They walk into Caesar's Palace, and they ask the lady at the clerk, "Is this hotel pager friendly?" I'm not getting any notices on my. I'm not getting any notices on my beeper.
I get a sig on my beeper.
A sig on my beeper. Like, if you have like a bank of payphones.
Caesar actually live here.
Yeah. And when they get ready to go out, they're waiting at the elevator, and Zach walks out, whatever, and fucking dude looks at him. He says, "Are you fucking with me? Is you really wearing that?"
The way he does his hair too.
Yeah,
and I was talking earlier about guys that crack up during the scenes. When he first walks in the room, the dude sitting there fucking, he sees Zach Galifianakis walk in and say, "You guys ready to let the dogs out or whatever?" And you see him crack up laughing. It's just, it's a good mix of guys. It's
on and too with that little 2-step. Who let the dogs out? You know?
Yeah.
I like that he's carrying that man purse with him the whole time.
Yeah.
It's a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one.
Indiana.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man.
Classic.
Okay, my number 2 is probably the holy trinity of comedic actors, and it is Three Amigos.
Wow. Wow.
Just an absolute staple in my household when I was younger. A powerhouse of a comedy, a powerhouse trio. Everything about this, it just screams funny without being overly funny. You know what I mean? The three guys themselves portrayed themselves as actors in the 1920s. The studio that they work for decides that they're asking for too much money, so all three of them get sacked. They don't really know what to do. They get a offer to what they think is to go and take part in a production in Mexico, which it doesn't turn out it's a production in Mexico. It's actually some people requesting their help because they think they're real guys. They think they're real sort of cowboys. So the whole sort of funny side of this starts off when they're trying to break back into the studio to get their costumes back because they need the costumes. They've no clothes of their own. The studio's owned everything that they had. And it starts with Steve Martin, who's broken, and he's stood on the wall, and he says, "Listen, I'm going to do an owl call. When you hear the call, come round the back. I'll get the costumes." So Steve Martin jumps up on the wall, Chevy Chase and Martin Short are underneath. And for about 10 minutes, he's throwing owl calls, and he's going, "Kakar, kakar, over here, up here." And they're just sort of looking around into nothing. And he goes, "Hey, guys!" And they go, "Oh, yeah, right." And just from that point onwards, it just goes batshit crazy. The scene that always gets me in this film is when they go in the bar and they decide they're going to do some entertainment for the guys at the bar, and they do a rendition of My Little Buttercup. Fucking amazing, amazing scene, because he's got these sort of like fucking banderos sat in the front, and he's pointing at them, making them sing along as they're going through the scene. It's fantastic from beginning to end. This is full. The bit where they get lost in the desert and shit starts talking to them as Martin Short, little Ned, starts singing the songs about cowboys being outside. It's just sheer genius. Sheer genius. I can put this on at any time, watch this over and over again, and constantly laugh at it. My wife does not understand why I like this film so much. She fucking hates it. But for me, it's just one of those. I can watch it anytime and just piss my pants at it. It's a great film.
You know, I used to watch that as a kid too. I used to watch that one. I haven't seen it in years, but I used to watch that all the time. I'll have to go back and revisit it.
I got to do it too.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while.
It's been since I was a kid that I've seen that one. So yeah, I need to rewatch it.
Yep.
It's great. Every part of it is brilliant. You know what I mean? The way they introduce themselves to the bad guy, you know what I mean? They think they're putting on a bit of a stage performance for him. So they do the whole repertoire of introducing themselves like they did in the films.
Yeah.
One of them spinning a lasso around, the other one shooting two guns in the air. And the fucking guy just draws a gun out, just shoots him off the horse straight away. You know what I mean? No, it's a great film. And those three guys together are fantastic.
Yeah, that comedy trio, man, is perfect. You know?
Yeah, it is the Holy Trinity, really.
Yeah.
No.
All right, number 2, another light one. American Psycho. Year 2000.
That's a jolly old film.
A lot of fun. Laugh riot. I love when he describes the play that he was supposed to be at when he was actually murdering somebody. He says, we'd gone to see a play. Oh, Africa, brave Africa. It was a laugh riot. You know? Written by Bret Easton Ellis. Movie follows Patrick Bateman, played by Christian Bale. 1980s Wall Street executive vice president. Yuppie by day. Serial killer by night. Again, doesn't that sound funny? It plays on the whole thing where everyone is so self-involved that no one seems to pay attention to anyone else or anything else. People are constantly being mistaken for each other. Everybody's basically a dork in this. And the things that they talk about, the things that they're worried about, who's got the reservation, who's this, they're so petty. That's all hilarious. Everybody is so disposable to each other. Everybody treats everybody like trash. I love it. And his character is so manic and insane, and nobody can tell that he's out of his mind. He's always quoting like serial killers. He would say, Ted Bundy's first dog was a collie named Lassie. Had you heard this? And everybody else is just like, fuck are you talking about? And just the things that irritate him. He goes to a restaurant and he's like, I'm sure we won't have a good table, but I realize that we do. Relief washes over me in an awesome wave. Like he talks like a complete and total dork. Everything he does is dorky, and it's hilarious. It's a satire on yuppie materialism. Like I said, with his over-the-top manic killing sprees, throughout. His bizarre obsession with fashion, status, and pop music. And all of it together just adds to it and makes it hilarious. He just goes on several rants about musicians. Huey Lewis in the News, of course.
My favorite part.
At one point, he's just going on. He has this huge monologue about Whitney Houston, and the hookers he's with they're laughing their ass off at him. Like, you own a Whitney Houston CD, like more than one, and he's just unfazed by it, and he's just going on about her ballads and stuff. Anyway, man, if you haven't seen, everybody's seen this movie. I don't need to go on about what's hilarious about this. It's everything. It's the whole fucking movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it.
Dude, when they're comparing business cards, business cards. That is the funniest shit.
Yeah.
And he's just so irate. Like,
let's see Paul Allen's
card. He's so angry.
And he's just looking at it and he's going, it's got to be, every time anything referenced with Paul Allen, he's like insanely jealous of him. He even kills him, of course. Spoilers. Jared Leto's character, he kills him. He goes to his apartment. The second he walks into his apartment, now he just dismembered Paul Allen. He walks into his apartment and he goes, "This is a much nicer apartment than mine." You know, like he's got a view of the park. This son of a bitch. He's still furious at him, even though he's already chopped him up.
Hey, what's all this plastic doing all over the floor and the walls and stuff? What are you about to paint or something? You just...
Yeah.
I never in my life thought of that movie as a comedy, but now speaking over it, man, it is actually pretty funny, man. The part that I like, dude, is when he's fucking that girl and he's just looking at himself like, you know?
He's very into himself.
He's
it's
so
hilarious.
full of himself. He's not even looking at the girl. You know?
The dialogue too. It's just like Van Patten is always asking where the reservation is, and then finally Bateman can't take it anymore. He's like, "Is that all you ever have to contribute, Van Patten? What about fucking dinner?" And he just storms off. Like, I don't know. He talks to his girlfriend like she's his dog.
Yeah.
Like she's just ranting, and him too. You know, they're in a limo. They're on their way to somewhere, and she's just going on, and she's drugged out, going on about having a baby and all this shit. And he's like, he says one thing. He's like, "Is that Donald Trump's car?" And she goes, "God, Patrick, will you shut up?" He's been blathered on this whole time. He's like, have some more lithium or maybe a Diet Coke, maybe some caffeine.
When he's talking to the prostitutes, he said, show her your ass. He said, "Don't look at it, eat it."
Yeah. It's a laugh riot. And like I said, for people, I don't know, it's listed as a comedy and comedy horror, but I think a lot of people don't get that it's satire and a comedy. Every interview he has with the detective, he looks insanely guilty. Just pouring fucking sweat, putting salt all over everything. Like, and I don't know.
I love that he's a germaphobe and he's got gloves on his hands and he's washing his hands.
Yeah. Even with gloves on. Yeah.
With the gloves on.
That's definitely a fucking comedy. I laugh at that shit all the time. And I wasn't sure what you were going to pull, Brad, but I had a feeling that was the one that was going to be in your stack. I had a feeling you were going to pull that one.
I know it's not listed as a comedy. I don't know how it's not listed as a comedy. I mean, it's so dark, and there's a lot of, like, a dog gets killed in it, and that, to the normal people, I guess that makes it shouldn't even be allowed to be watched anymore. But he's talking to this bum, and he's trying to help him in some way. He's like, man, he has a moment where he wants to be a human being, and he's like, "I don't have anything in common with you." He just blurts it out. Like, he suddenly becomes enraged and kills him. The old lady, he goes to the ATM to get cash out of the ATM, and he's starting to lose his mind, like, completely. And the ATM reads, "Feed me a stray cat." Yeah. He picks up a cat and he starts to try to shove it. Like, with the gun, he's going to shoot it somehow and try to shoot it in there. Some old lady comes by and goes, "What are you doing?" He just turns and just unloads on her. Like, I don't know. I guess you got to be sick, but it is hilarious.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, this one here, I knew it was gonna be in my top 5. I wasn't sure where it was gonna be, but it landed at number 2, and that's gonna be There's Something About Mary.
Oh yeah.
This is such a rewatchable fucking movie. Seen it so many times. It came out in 1998. I saw a Bobby and Peter Farley movie, Farley Brothers movie. Cameron Diaz, Ben Stiller, Matt Dillon. Love Matt Dillon in this movie. Chris Elliott, Lynn Shay playing Magda. You know, the old lady with the fucking suntan addiction. And it's the last time I had a pap smear, they had to have an oyster knife. You know, I mean, she's just old crusty ass nasty lady. It's great. You got Keith David playing the stepdad, and every single second he's on camera, just absolutely love it. Yeah. You got a cameo by Brett Favre. You know, which is great. Whatever. I mean, I'm not a Packers fan, but I am a Brett Favre fan, so that was kind of cool to see.
The black lady, she describes him. She's like, "Whatever happened to that corn-fed white boy you was dating?" Pac-Man.
And something I didn't know, so I did a little research. Matt Dillon and Cameron Diaz were actually dating during the time this movie was being made. I didn't know that. And Chris Farley, and talking about Warren, you got the special needs brother Warren. Yeah, I watched this movie a gazillion times before I realized who that actor was. I thought I put it in my notes here, but I didn't. But he's been in a lot of other shit. Help me out here, Brad. He was in Deadwood.
Justified. He was just in The Walking.
Yeah,
he's in the.
Y'all look it up. The guy that plays Warren in this, he's been in a lot of shit, and you wouldn't even recognize it was him in this. Of course, you got the Franks and Beans. Just he was masturbating, all that shit. It's so fucking great. You see my baseball? So I mean, just so many quotable fucking lines. Chris Farley was actually considered for the part of Warren, but he later died during the time this was being made. But Chris Farley is Warren. That would have been interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the favorite movie. This is Ben Stiller's favorite movie he's ever done. So that's pretty cool.
That's the one that kind of put him on the map, though, too, right?
Yeah. This movie was a fucking huge hit, man. Huge hit. Bobby Farley called the movie a cross between When Harry Met Sally and Blazing Saddles. That's kind of where he puts this movie. That's a fucked up mix, but that's pretty accurate. This is one of the movies in which Matt Dillon appeared in 1998, where the setting. This is one of two movies in which Matt Dillon appeared in 98, where the setting was in South Florida. The other movie was Wild Things, where he starred with Denise Richards and Neve Campbell. So this was right around that time. He did two movies back to back in South Florida. But so many fucking quotable lines. I mean, you got the when the cops pick up, Ben Stiller for being at the fucking at the place, whatever, at the truck stop with all the gay guys. And he has a hitchhiker in the car, 7-minute abs, that whole fucking scene. And he don't realize he's being picked up for murder. And you got the one cop that's the actor from Kindergarten Cop, whatever is the bad guy. I can't remember his name. And at 3 o'clock eye. But he comes in, he's so fucking pissed off, and it's just such a funny back and forth. Ben Stiller has no idea why they're being so mean to him.
Yeah.
And of course you got this, what you see here, you got the cum in the fucking hair. It's just you got to flog the dolphin, man. You got to flog the dolphin before you go out. Just so much shit, man. It's Chris Elliott. I'm not a big Chris Elliott fan. I mean, Chris Elliott's great in this. Is Woogie.
Yeah.
But fucking Matt Dillon, and also the other guy. I didn't write down his name. Whatever, the guy that plays the English guy on crutches.
Oh yeah.
And what's funny is he gets shit for having the worst English accent. The actor in real life is English. But he really exaggerated it, whatever. They call it like the worst English accent ever. He just exaggerated his own accent.
Norm.
Yeah, but when he goes from being the English guy that's supposed to be upper class, and you realize he's just a pizza boy, he's the other dude. He's like, you should be kissing my fucking hairy beanbag. That's the way he talks. It's him and Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon gets the fucking, he's spying and hears all these little things, these clues. So he gets his fucking teeth cat. And just damn, it's so funny. When he looks at the fucking window, and
she has a mentally challenged brother, and Matt Dillon said, he tries to use that against her. He's like, listen, my passion is my hobby. I work with retards. And you don't say that to people that, are in that business. They don't like that word. And immediately she's just like, what?
And he's got a forehead like a drive-in theater. I got a place outside, it's like a chain where he could run, he could dig.
Yeah, he's describing this horrible situation to her, and he just thinks he's killing it.
He's the biggest fucking doofus in the world, and he's trying to be a Mac Daddy, trying to win the girl over. And it's so fucking great, man. There's so many funny lines in this movie. I can't quote them all here, but there's so many. I love this movie here. It easily could have been number one, but I had another one I liked just a little bit more. But great movie, a fucking classic, man.
He's trying to talk Ben Stiller out of going to see her. And she's like, you still want to look her up? Roller Pig? And he's like, I thought you said she was a real spark plug. And he goes, no, I said butt plug.
Butt plug. Butt plug.
All right, I'll have to look at what housing project she's living at now.
Let's see. Let's catch up here.
Yeah, she's about a deuce and a half.
Not bad.
It's a shame about that wheelchair, though. He's just painting this horrific picture of her.
Give me a second. Crybaby's King. Love that film. Have to admit it. Oh my God, the interview. Interview's a good one.
Right.
Mark Jones says, question for all of you. What popular comedy among most people do you think is dog shit? It's a good question.
There's a lot.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
I would have to think about
anything that's came out in the last 5 years, probably as far as comedy goes.
Yeah, comedy's dead, man. You can't do a comedy like most of these movies we're talking about because everybody gets so fucking offended now. And these movies now would never fucking be made in 2023.
Man, that's a bad thing too, man. That's just that.
It's just it breaks my heart, man, because these comedies, there's and I didn't really realize it until we started doing this, man. It's just there's so fucking many of them, and I look at, and I'm watching these movies, going, there's no way this can be made today. There's no way.
Yep.
Oh, I got one. I do have one. I do. Bridesmaids, I think, is very fucking overrated. Sorry,
I've only seen part of that, whatever, but
I've never seen it, and if I did see it, I wouldn't admit it, Anthony. Maybe,
dude,
keep that down. People can hear you.
It's supposed to be the raunchy comedy for the ladies, but that came out in a time where you could still, I think, make jokes. I think it still came out at like an okay time, but it's a lot of people love it because it's rated R and they do a lot of humor, but it's just not funny to me. It's just not. It's not my type.
You watched that right before you watched Ghostbusters 2016, Anthony?
No.
Ocean's 8. You watch that one too? Have a good cry.
There was a lot of
about it, man.
I said I didn't like the fucking movie for one thing. I watched it one time and I fucking did not. But that's a movie that a lot of people claim that they fucking love. A lot of people say they love Bridesmaids. That I don't like. So
there was a lot of that kind of stuff at one point. My missus is fucking obsessed with Pitch Perfect. If you've ever seen any of them films, they're not fucking funny. You know what I mean? I think comedy films that was aimed directly at women for a female audience just are not fucking funny. Period. Full stop.
Yeah, I can't think of many comedies with women that I thought were even funny. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, and those are supposed to be the best of the best too, right? A lot of them are like SNL alumni and shit like that. So they're supposed to be the best, but I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Never synced it.
I'm just looking up like popular comedy movies, and I'm trying to like a lot of them I liked. I mean, a lot of these are really good, but that was one that I was like, no.
Thing isn't really good out the series. Police Academy, Citizens on Patrol. That was a bit of a stinker.
Yeah.
As you get to the later Police Academy films, they start to suck ass.
Man.
Yeah. All right, Baby Yaga says anything from Mel Brooks is golden. Yep.
Yeah.
He's got some bangers.
Dude, Dracula Dead and Loving It's one of my favorites. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Young.
James said number 2 is Clue.
James says Clue. Well, I toyed with Clue. Clue's right there.
Yeah.
Clue's a great film. It's just one of those films that if you've never seen it before, give it a whirl. Christopher Lloyd's in there. Tim Curry holds that film together on his own. Without Tim Curry, that there is no film.
You could say that.
Memory serves is the same director that directed Clue. By the way, so if I remember my notes,
like rewatch Congo without Tim Curry and tell me that movie's even watchable. Like Tim Curry carries most movies he's in, really.
Yeah.
And Ernie Hudson's really good in Congo too.
Yeah,
I like his character.
Mm-hmm. Joe Don Baker as the crazy diamond guy that's throwing tantrums the whole movie.
Yeah.
Wild Wrangler Mallrats, great Michael Rooker. I like Michael Rooker in anything.
Me too. Yeah.
McPilot 77 says, why haven't Arrow picked up Dogma, for God's sakes?
Dogma, yeah, exactly.
Well, Kevin Smith doesn't own Dogma. So the guy who owns it wants like $1 bajillion to let it be licensed.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah, there is no Blu-ray in the UK of it.
There's a Blu-ray, but it's crazy.
How High was the best. Yeah, I've only seen How High once, whatever. It never grabbed me like some of the others, whatever. But yes, it was a fun watch.
My stoner days also, and I remember watching that stoned and fucking dying, man. I loved How High.
Yeah, my favorite stoner movie is definitely Pineapple Express.
They wrecked their car trying to check out a chick. I remember that in How High,
yeah. Some good advice, whatever, is this is what I hear anyway. When you get super, super high and you watch the first 5 minutes of Pineapple Express, when the motherfucker's in the fucking tank, whatever, smoking the pot, and the fucking the scuba dude comes in to give him a light. That it's fucking hilarious, man. It's a great stoner movie. And there's so many things in that movie that are funny that if you're not stoned, you just don't even you don't even hear them.
Yeah. Yep.
But
classic.
Yeah, so great. Rob says, did Grandma's Boy get mentioned yet? Not yet. I figured that
I don't know how
somewhere.
that movie is so good because it's a Happy Madison project. I don't know why it was so funny, but it is. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What is
And
that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only
Grandma's
seen that
Boy.
movie one time. I need to rewatch it because I hear people talking about it a lot, and I only seen it once.
Yeah, that's a
So I need
funny
to
one.
go
I
back
haven't
and
seen it in a while, but that was
revisit that one. Mallrats 2? Question mark.
Could be.
Yeah, probably. They'll
Kevin
probably.
Smith's out of ideas. It's clear.
All right, exactly. Yeah.
Well, we're getting a Tusk part 2. So
Yeah. Well, that's necessary.
Oh, he also that one was funny.
Yeah.
Miss Caveman loves Dogma.
Yeah.
The Hangover is very fun. Kept it simple, and they included alcohol, hookers, and a tiger. I was sold. And man, I rewatched The Hangover. I mean, very recently. And when they're at Mike Tyson's house, and they're looking at the video footage at Mike Tyson's house, and motherfuckers like, he's such a beautiful, regal animal. And then you see in the camera that he's trying to put the tiger in the car, and he's fucking the tiger on the video, like a dry hump of the tiger. Dude, there's so many little things like that you got to pay attention because there's so many funny scenes like that.
Yeah,
you know,
looking for strippers and cocaine.
And somebody said in the chat earlier, whatever he said, "Would you please put on some goddamn pants?" I found it very uncomfortable. I had to ask you twice. Very weird. I had to ask you twice.
I'm like,
Zach's just running around the hotel, just dick out. You know, it's hilarious. Oh. Crusher, what's going on, man? Saying hello.
Hello, Crusher. How's it going, man?
Man, this is Jay and Silent Bob. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zach and Mary make a porno. Yeah, that's another one, man.
It's great.
Almost made a list. Would you please put some pants on? Oh, like a nerdy hillbilly. Samantha says, yeah, dude really pulled his tooth out. Yeah, that was fucked up. Hard Copy Blues says, Three Amigos has some hilarious scenes, but it dragged a bit for me at the end. The highlight moments of the movie were all-time funny, though.
Mm-hmm.
The bar scene is the best.
Yeah, the bar scene is brilliant. My Little Buttercup.
Oh, yeah.
Gizmo says, lost all faith in Brit now. What's up with all this non-UK picks? Monty Python, Full Monty. I love the fucking Full Monty, by the way. It made my short list. Blackstock, come on, Tony. I'm losing all my money here.
Well,
Fish called Wanda.
Fish called Wanda, yeah. Stay with us, Gizmo. You'll be happy with the end result, mate.
You fuck on me, I fuck on you.
Yeah.
A men's size.
And dude, whenever the motherfucker jumps out of the back of that car butt ass naked, and it shows him, and he just has no dick. You just see fur.
Yeah,
dude, it's like, what the fuck, man? And he beats the shit out of all three of them and takes off butt ass naked running. You know, it's such a fucking great scene. He was so mean. I hate Godzilla.
The little kid that they're at the police station for like a scared straight thing or whatever, and the little kid that gets to tase him, and Rob Riggle's kind of narrating it, and the little kid is just looking him dead in the eyeballs, and Rob Riggle's like, "I love the intensity, buddy. Let's keep it going." You know, they tase the shit out of him.
Some of these big ones.
Face.
You gotta give him one more in the neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this is I called it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crusher says Mrs. Doubtfire is the #1 comedy movie of all times. Yeah, I can't argue much with that, man. I love Mrs. Doubtfire. That's my son's favorite, probably. Yeah. Gizmo says you have even Australia, and you are next door to France. Represent Europe. Come on. Who is Harry Crumb, man? Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one on John Candy.
Yeah.
If I could bring anybody back of the stars we've lost, it would be John Candy. Yeah, I love John Candy, man. It was terrible.
Uncle Buck.
Kevin says
it's an odd fat guy comic too, because he's not. It's not so much physical. He's just it's a smart ass kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
You get the double whammy there. You get the big fat guy funny, and you get that he's he's really a smart guy funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mrs. I love some of Chevy Chase's movies, but he is one of the worst assholes in Hollywood, which past co-actors have stated. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Like at conventions, he's always Mr. Standoff. You know, he's kind of a dick. That's what I always heard.
He got in a fist fight with John Belushi. I mean, how do you even do that? He's like 5'5", like he's an egg with legs walking around. Like, I don't understand how that even happens. Bill Murray had to break it up. Like, how does that even go on? How are you not just laughing your ass off the whole time, all three of you together?
Yeah, Samantha Trace Amigo. Yep. Gizmo says, "What her head would look like on a stick."
Yeah.
Yeah. Murders and acquisitions.
Yeah. Murders and executions.
Someone pull how high.
Yeah, murders and executions.
I understand that you had to go darker after Sideways. The Green American Psycho is fun as hell. Not a comedy I would put on the Christmas time with the family.
It's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. It takes place over Christmas. They go to Christmas parties. Come on, man.
Get it together, Gizmo.
Gizmo, you're just being ridiculous now.
Wild Rain with How High is great. Yeah, Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
Very versatile actor. Aren't we all dorks? Yeah, we are. That's why, I love that.
I love it.
Gizmo said, "There's something about Mary, such an insane classic. That movie has made me save a huge amount of money on hair gel."
Jesus Christ. I wish we could say he's on drugs. He's totally sober. That's the worst part about it. This is him normal.
Wild Runner says, "It's stuck. It's stuck. What is LOL about Mary?"
Yeah.
Wild Runner says, "Pops, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas." Yeah, that's another good one. I didn't make my top 5. I need to get that 4K. Is the 4K come out yet from Criterion? I got the Blu-ray.
I think an Arrow 4K, isn't it?
Well, I got it on Criterion, but I think Arrow might be putting the 4K out. I don't remember. I got the Criterion release of it, I believe. Samantha Martinez is John Wick. Brian Goes Blue says Harlan Williams as the hitchhiker and Lee Evans as the friend.
Yeah. I like Richard Jenkins in it, and he's like the therapist for Ben Stiller at the beginning, and he says he's not even in the room. He comes in just at the end of the session,
get his lunch or whatever,
and he's like very, very close to listening. Ben Stiller says, "Yeah, I pulled over to the rest area. I don't know what that's about."
And he starts paying attention then.
Yeah, Richard Jenkins goes, "Well, rest areas are homosexual hangouts. They're the bathhouses of the 90s for many, many gay men," like implying that he thinks he's gay. And and Ben Stiller goes, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He goes, "We'll delve into that in the next session."
Yeah, Samantha's a fan of Fear and Loathing.
Hell yeah. Love that movie.
Harkow says, "You got to get the baby batter out. That stuff will mess your head up, man." Yeah. Motherfuckers started to get fucking whelps all over his face, like scratching and shit. That's definitely the best thing Chris Elliott's ever done, in my opinion.
Man, the handyman in Scary Movie 2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The caretaker and the butler and the chef and Scary Movie 2 with the tiny hand.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's a close second for me. Yeah. Span says, let's go to the Big Lebowski. That's one that made my list.
Another one made my list. Like that could be in anybody's, no question.
Yep, I can't beat Big Lebowski. Kershaw said, "Mrs. Doubtfire is the best comedy movie ever made." Yeah. I got the signed. Came and said, "Can't believe no one has mentioned Police Academy 1 when the supervisor gets caught. The gay bikers." Yeah, the Blue Wash Star thing was called.
Blue Wash Star.
Brutal top 5 to do because there's so many good ones.
Yeah. Police Academy 1 was a classic also, man. I remember that movie, seeing it a dozen times when it came out. Samantha Martinez, rock from Elton John to RW. Jawbreaker. Jamie Hart says Jawbreaker and Mean Girls and Heathers are all funny. Mean Girls is awesome. Blazing Saddles, yeah.
I believe we were probably talking about the woman in comedy thing. Yeah, Jawbreaker, that's definitely a woman, comedy horror. That's a good one for sure.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that one too.
Yeah, Wild Wrangler say Clue was awesome. Best Police Academy movie is Hightower getting driver's license. Can't fit, so the guy says, we'll just rip the seats out and drive in the back seat. Next scene, he is ripping them out. The best part of that scene is when the dude gets pissed off and he comes up to the car window and he sees my fucking Bubba Smith sitting in the back seat fucking driving. And he just looks back there. It's a great fucking scene. Yeah. Dogma is a Harvey Weinstein Company release. Won't be re-released of it anytime soon.
Miramax. Yeah.
What's up, Tony?
What up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
Just got done on another live stream. I'll have to watch the replay. I appreciate you stopping by, man.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
Yeah, let us know your top 5, Tony. I'd like to hear them. Let's see. White Orchid is sick. Animal House, man, another classic. John Belushi. Well, then you watch it with Granny. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is great too.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction can be classified as a comedy, man. I laughed my ass off during that. A lot of Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Digstown will probably hit my top 5 list. Think of it as a comedy I've seen the most. I've seen the most times. James Woods is so fun. God, I hope they release it on Blu-ray.
Digstown is really good.
I think it's got a Blu-ray. I think I have that movie on Blu-ray.
I'm pretty sure it did have a Blu-ray that went out of print from Kino.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I think I got the Blu-ray of that. Bay Service Be Nice. My service was out. I'm back. Welcome back. Guys, we have arrived. It is time to find out what everybody's number one comedy of fucking all times is. And Anthony, pressure's on you. What you got? Bring the heat.
I gotta say before my number one, somebody mentioned Animal House, and I'm just thinking of that scene where John Belushi is coming down the stairs, and they're having like a big party or whatever, and there's that hippie guy singing that song, and he's playing his little guitar, and John Belushi's just looking at him like, what the fuck? And he takes his guitar and he just fucking smashes it into pieces.
Yeah. And he says,
fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I think of that. I think about that scene every time. But no, my number one right here is I can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking my head up a bull's ass, but I'd rather take a butcher's
Tommy boy.
I got that same.
I love that still bit too.
Yeah.
Yep, I got that same one.
Does this suit make me look fat? No, your face does.
I can hear you getting fatter.
I love it when he's talking to that guy and he's trying to sell him on something. And he's, he takes his little cars and he's like, we're driving along. And then, we almost get into an accident or whatever. And then he's like, now this is the other guy's brake pads. Driving along. He just starts crashing his like antique cars together. And then he sets
oh my God.
Oh my God.
When he gets David Spade jerking off and he keeps fucking with it. Who's your favorite little rascal? Is it Spanky?
Spanky or Alfalfa? Sinner.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, fat guy in a little coat, he rips his I mean, there's just so many good lines. I mean, from start to finish. Rob Lowe's character, though, man, he's fucking great in this. I mean, when he's getting off, you're introduced to him by he's getting off the bus. He finishes his little carton of chocolate milk, and then he crumbles it and he throws it in a baby stroller.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, and then the kid's like blowing on the glass. He's, the bus is about to drive off, and then Rob Lowe just takes his fist and like, hits him.
Rob Lowe just gets his ass beat the whole movie.
Yeah, he pisses on the electrical wire.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
and he's blown back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
pulling
just
around fighting cops and the fucking bees. The bees, your weapons are useless against them.
The two cops are like, I'm allergic to bees. I'm allergic to bees too. You know. Yeah, I mean the deer scene. You know, they hit the deer, and then it ends up they think it's dead, or we just killed Bambi.
They're all crying.
The deer wakes up, just destroys poor David Spade. His car's just getting destroyed this entire film or whatever, and it's just gone.
When they're riding down the road, they stop on that damn radio station that's just got the romantic song playing. He's like, I guess we can listen to this. Well, I'm good with it if you are.
I can listen to it.
Just singing their ass off.
Yeah.
Actually,
Crying from that too.
Yeah. The whole car getting destroyed scene kind of reminds me of it's kind of paying homage a little bit to Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in a way, right? Like how the car keeps getting destroyed kind of throughout the film. Like the car gets like set on fire and all that stuff.
Another road trip movie.
What's that?
Yeah.
Another road trip movie.
Another road trip movie, yeah. Yeah, I just thought about that though. I'm like, oh, that kind of reminds me of that scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where their car gets destroyed too. You know, it gets set on fire and destroyed. But yeah, no, just endlessly quotable. I can put it on anytime and watch. I love Tommy Boy. It always makes me crack up. You know, I love that slapstick style humor that Chris Farley brings. And, you know, I like it when Chris Farley's getting off the plane and David Spade's like, you know, you're late, right? Or whatever. We tried calling you or whatever. And he's like, or no, Chris Farley says, oh yeah, I tried calling you. And David Spade's like, oh yeah, what's the number? And he's like, 129er. Did I hear a niner there somewhere?
Walkie-talkie?
Right.
Oh, you have a window. Well, why not? You've been here 10 minutes.
Yeah. So good, man. There's just so many good lines in there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's it. Tommy Boy's the number one, man, for me.
Nice.
A lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Called doctors. Yeah,
That's awesome, man. Awesome pick.
So my number one, full disclosure here, a lot of this, including with my fucking honorable mentions, a lot of these could be interchanged easily. Okay, so I absolutely love this movie though, and when it first came out, again, another one I thought it was just completely different, and I'm gonna go with Tropic Thunder.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
When I first put on this, or when I first watched this movie, and the fucking trailers at the beginning, I was like, is this fucking real, man? And every single one of them was hilarious. You know, the one where fucking, what's his name? Jack Black is playing these fat people and he's just farting. It's like, ow! And he's like in the fucking woman's thing. And it said, the fatties coming soon. No, fart too. I'm just like, what the fuck? This can't be real. You know, and then it shows the other one with Robert Downey Jr. when he's fucking like pretending to be a gay priest and stuff like that. And then what does it say? It's what does he say at the end? He says,
I've been a bad boy.
I'm cracking up. I'm like, I cannot believe this shit. It's so fucking hilarious. And then, I mean, getting into the story too, it's so funny that Tom Cruise is in this too. You know, he's like this woman's sexual icon. This one, he's this big, fat, hairy fucking guy. That's just like, oh man, it's just his character is hilarious. So you see that guy? Punch that fucking guy, you know. It's it's so fucking funny. And then just the fact that they're just spoiled actors put out there. One of them doesn't know how to cry. I mean, the whole thing too with his hands blown off and he's just trying to cry and stuff.
He's talking about playing the piano.
Yeah,
hands are in pieces.
Yeah. It's so fucking hilarious, man. I mean, the production value behind this too, man. I mean, you see explosions, you see lots of gore also. When the fucking producer, when it fucking explodes and his head flies up, fucking Ben Stiller puts it on the fucking his thing and starts using it to pump it.
He's licking corn syrup and colour.
Yeah, he's licking it. He's like, oh, it's like blood flavor.
Hey man, you want to bust a nut bar?
Oh, and then also fucking Jack Black too, withdrawing the whole time, and then he finds that fucking all the heroin. I'm gonna do all the fucking heroin in the world. Like, it's fucking hilarious, man. When he's jonesing, he's all, if you untie me right now, I'll totally suck your dick, cradle your balls, lick the shaft, and swallow the gravy. Oh, it is so fucking hilarious, man. His look of like desperation too is just so fucking funny, man. Oh, this movie's hilarious, man. I could watch this shit all the time. And another one, you know, I feel like it did something completely different than a lot of other movies have done. So I love Tropic Thunder, man. I'm gonna have to go with Tropic Thunder this time for number one.
Dude, I love the product placement when he's like, I got this booty sweat in Da Nang.
Booty sweat, baby. He said, look at my boy over here doing the seizure. He's like,
that shit's so good. That's a great choice, man.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Awesome,
You can't not mention Matthew McConaughey's character.
The TiVo.
Yeah, he thinks it's all about him like losing his client and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like really in trouble, and he shows up to save him, but to bring him the TiVo.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason he shows up.
No, you can't forget about Simple Jack, man. Simple Jack.
Simple Jack.
That shit's so good, dude. I'd watch the whole thing.
You got a great brain.
Man, that's an
You
awesome thing, man. I love
make
it.
me happy.
You can't go full retard.
Yeah.
So I have a huge love for both of what these two things of what this film is. I have a huge love for the Arthurian legend. So the whole King Arthur shit, I am in all the way. And if it's anything that the Monty Python crew have done, then I am in all the way. And it is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Absolute stonewall banger of a film. Probably the best thing that Monty Python did. And they did some fucking amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Laugh at Brian, Meaning of Life. This was the best one they did. If you watch this and you know the Arthurian legend, it stays quite true to the actual fucking story, but just goes off on a Python tangent. This is more like sort of an hour and 40 minutes of small skits that was squashed together to make one film. There is not a week goes by where someone I work with doesn't quote a line out of this film to someone else. It's that quotable. Each scene in it from the beginning to the end is fantastic. The whole sing along where they're singing about going to Camelot and eating Spamalot and pushing the Pramalot, and it's just fucking stonewall bonkers from start to end. The knights that say "Knee, we demand a shrubbery." You know what I mean? The Black Knight, come back! I'll bite your arms off, you bastard! It's barely a scratch. Just everything about this. The beast at the end that they fucking have to fight. It turns out it's just a white rabbit. He goes, it's nothing but a white rabbit. It'll fucking do you. It's got big pointy teeth here. Just everything about it is a work of genius, and you can't go wrong with anything that Monty Python did. The stories that go along with the whole filming of this, where this was actually filmed in Britain, the Python crew was staying in the local village. And all the actors at the night were going out for a drink in the local pubs, and they got that rowdy and that over the top. They got Bird from the first pub they were drinking in, so they moved to the pub across the road. And for the whole time they were there, they were Bird out of the entire village at the end. They weren't allowed in any restaurants. They weren't allowed in any bars. They weren't allowed in fucking anywhere. They had to come out of the area to eat meals or go for a drink. It is a true Monty Python classic. I don't know if you guys got the whole Monty Python thing in the States. I don't know if you've got the TV stuff. It stands up, and it stands up well. It's well written. It's funny. It's satire at its best. But this, the Holy Grail, is by far the best thing that they did, and it still stands up now.
As far as British comedies go, I mean, it's right up there with Austin Powers 3 Gold Member. I mean, as far as we're concerned.
I love gold. Smoking a pancake? I'm going to waffle.
I just feel like everybody in the UK just looks at that and goes, is that what they think we are?
Monty Python sums up the whole of the British Isles. But no, it is a great film, but it is so quotable.
The flesh wound bit, everybody knows the flesh wound bit. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, come back, you bastards! I'll bite your legs off.
Yeah.
Just the holy hand grenade of Anthrok. You know what I mean? Two, 3 is the count. 2 is no. 4 is way out of the question. You know what I mean? It's fucking just the whole witch trials. How do we know she's a witch? Well, she might be made out of wood. Well, how do you know she's made out of wood? You put her in water. What happens to wood in water? It floats. She's a witch, burn her. just everything about it is just genius, a work of genius.
Your poor wife, she's asleep in the other room, just going, a lot of men I could have married. Monty Python yelling at the top of his lungs.
I've married this dickhead.
Off the pick, man. Off the pick.
My number one, big surprise. Basket Case. I know people hate this movie. I know people got like serious issues with it. I don't care. I love this movie since I was a little kid. Major nostalgia for this. I've watched it twice in preparation for this stream. I guess I really needed to do that. But written and directed by Frank Henenlotter. Movie takes place in and is shot in New York City, like almost all of Henenlotter's movies. It was shot for $40,000. The movie follows, it's a 1982 movie, by the way. The movie follows Dwayne and his brother Belial, who are formerly conjoined twins. They were as children. Eventually, it is decided to surgically separate them against their will. They bring a couple of shitty doctors and a veterinarian in to do the surgery on the kitchen table, of course, as you do. After the surgery, they discard Belial, doesn't really even look human. He's the size of a basket, obviously. He's not a big. Here, there's a better shot of it here. If you haven't seen the movie. He's attached at the hip to this normal looking guy, and they decide to cut him off and discard him so the normal guy can have a normal life. They assume he died, but of course, Dwayne finds Belial in the trash using their telepathic link. From there, they begin their odyssey of revenge, where Belial brutally murders anybody and who had anything to do with it. For some reason, he has like insane strength. He's just a creature. Anyway, I won't go into the whole thing, but it's awesome. It's exploitation at its finest. It's disgusting. It's depraved, but it's hysterical. It's totally original. It's grimy. It's filthy. It's like I said. But what makes the movie is Frank Henenlotter. What he does with so little in all of his movies, you can tell he's a movie freak. He really cares about what he's doing. He doesn't get a lot of money for his movies, but he wants to make them anyway. I really respect that. And I've said it before, said it again. I'll say it again. He's a special guy who makes special films for special people and with special people. So check it out, man. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you've been doing with yourself. Scolder, go fuck yourself. I know he's going to talk shit in the chat. I love this movie. I will never stop watching it. If they do a 4K, which would make no sense, a 16 millimeter looks like shit. I don't know why they would do a 4K. When they do a 4K, I'll buy that one too.
So I love this movie also, and I love the director, Frank Henenlotter. I think this movie is a masterpiece, and if we had a top 10 list of all-time horror films, I believe this would be on it.
Yeah.
Comedy, though, I don't know, man.
You don't find Belial ripping those dudes apart hilarious or raping that woman to death hilarious? Come on, man.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
Comedic gems here. You know? It's more everybody's reaction to him, basically. I don't know, just the characters. I don't know. It's funny. It works on both levels to me.
I know part 2 and 3 for sure have a lot more comedic elements in it than the original does. Especially for the fact that fucking Belial now is a father. Finds one that's exactly like him. Has all these kids.
The big comedy part is the freak out in the hotel.
Yeah.
When he finds out Dwayne lied to him and he just pops out of the basket and he starts screaming and he tears the whole fucking place apart.
Yeah.
That is the most comedic scene in it for me.
I love that claymation, man, the way it looks. It looks so fucking
the stop motion or whatever they used. And I love the ending. I love how the way the movie ends. I love the whole story arc. They build this like Saw trap to kill their own father and they chop him in half.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Just,
I personally think that movie is a fucking masterpiece, man.
Yeah.
I love that film,
That's
and I love that
funny.
director too because I also love Brain Damage. Brain Damage would also be on my top 10 list, and that's crazy.
Hooker, I mean, all of them
with two movies.
Yeah, I love Frankenhooker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number one is a little bit darker than Brad's, so I'm going to bring this down a little bit from that pick. But mine's going to be the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Love
I feel like this is probably, and I went back and forth a lot, but this is probably my favorite comedy of all times. I have seen this movie so many times, and I got kind of a funny story when this movie came out. It came out in 2005. You know, I got 4 kids, 3 sons, and we used to always go to the movies together. And, you know, in 2005 when this came out, my 2 youngest boys were born in 1998. Or sorry, 1996. You know, so they would have been 9 years old when this came out. And I promised them I was going to take them to a movie. Wasn't sure what I was playing. We go to the theater, and there was nothing there that we hadn't already seen except for some fucking horror movies and this. And I really hadn't heard much about this at the time. And so I take my 3 young sons to go see this. My older son was a little bit older, but still too young himself. So we sit down, we start watching this movie, and I'm going, what in the fuck? And between me and my older son, we kept covering my kids' eyes, and I'm like, I'm not the worst parent ever. And after we leave the movie, we get out in the car, and my youngest son looks at me. He says, "Dad, what's a virgin? Are you a virgin?" And it was fucking hilarious. During memory though, and I watched the movie a gazillion times. I watched it with them now that they've gotten older, of course, a few times, and it holds up, man. It's got so many quotable scenes, and I remember seeing this. It's the first time I'd ever seen Seth Rogen in anything personally, and I said to myself, I said, that dude right there is going to be huge. And so he was the best part of the movie just about for me. And he's Seth Rogen now. But I mean, when I first seen this, the first time I'd ever seen him in anything, I just knew he was going to be a big star.
Imagine where his career is now. I mean, just think about it.
Yeah.
When that whole Me Too thing happened, his career ended. This guy was the big name in Hollywood. Now it's like, what's he do now? I mean, that industry he was in is gone for him.
Yeah, like all those guys. I mean, all these movies we're talking about, like this one here for sure. I mean, it's just they're over with.
Yeah,
you know. It was directed by Judd Apatow. You got Steve Carell, Catherine Renner, Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen, Elizabeth Banks, which is badass in this, Leslie Mann, and Jane Lynch. And goaded by his buddies, a nerdy guy who's never done the deed, only finds the pressure mounting when he meets a single mother. And she his girlfriend works at a place called We'll Sell Your Stuff on eBay.
Yeah.
You know, and the Jonah Hill has a small little cameo, and she's trying to explain what she does at the store. All that's real fun, just funny as hell.
He's trying to buy these platform disco shoes with goldfish in them, and he's like, "You're making it really difficult. I just want to buy these and wear them."
And when buddies come over to his house and they see all the shit he's got in his fucking house, whatever, and they're they're fucking with him. And it's like, did you really frame an Asia poster? And
did you really
says,
frame
we gotta get rid of all this shit?
Poster?
He said that the girl was coming to his house. They're like, freak out. We got to get rid of anything, whatever that is embarrassing before the girl comes over. And they show the next shot. The whole apartment's empty. They cleaned the whole fucking place out.
Yeah.
But the scene where, of course, you got the chest waxing scene, which is the most popular bit. The scene where Andy and his chest hair removed. You have 5 cameras set up for the shot. Steve Carell's chest hair was actually ripped out of the scene. Carell had told the director, Judd Apatow, just before shooting the scene, it has to be real. It won't be funny if it's mocked up or if it's special effects. You have to see this. Oh, sorry. You have to see that this is really happening. For obvious reasons, the scene had to be done in one shot. And they almost ripped his nipple off because the lady, I guess you're supposed to put some kind of like Vaseline over your fucking nipple before you rip the fucking hair around your nipple. And right before they did the shot, whatever, they forgot to do that. They almost ripped Steve Carell's nipple off. And funny fucking scene. The counselor at the health clinic where Andy takes Marla is played by Steve Carell's real life Nancy Carell. The producers were planning to have a sequel by the name of Knocked Up. You know, there's another movie with Seth Rogen called Knocked Up. Originally, that was going to be a sequel with almost the same cast, but in the end, they realized Knocked Up in 2007 is a separate movie and not related to this one. The electronics store they work in was repurposed. It's a repurposed Staples store that recently closed. And when this movie came out, Premiere voted this one of the 50 greatest comedies of all times in 2006. But yeah, just so quotable. The guy sitting around playing poker, some of the best scenes, whatever. Seth Rogen's explaining about, that he was at a girl's house and the fucking dog started licking his ass.
Yeah.
And the guy and the one dude says, "Yeah, I know what you did. You finished." He says, "Yeah, I finished. I stole the fucking dog." And when he's talking to Steve Carell there at the beginning of the movie, and Steve Carell's talking about making all the fucking accoutrement to make a egg salad sandwich, and Seth Rogen's in the back going, it's just boom. Anyway, it's just great, man. There's a gazillion funny lines in this. You got the one. One guy saying, "I'll go fuck a goat," and just that dude, his back and forth, whatever. Him and the black guy, I can't remember his name.
When your son was born,
some of my favorite characters.
Already on parole?
Yeah, but it's great. You also got a young Kevin Hart mixing a little small part in this. I forgot he was even in this. I rewatched it just for a second, but it's such a great fucking movie. It's one of my favorites of all times, and I kind of wish we could get a 4K, maybe a cool release of this. Whatever. This is all I got is this basic bitch edition. But yeah, I love it, guys. It holds up.
It's great, but if you don't use it, you lose it.
Was that a serious question?
It feels like a bag of sand.
Yeah. And when dude walks in with his girlfriend and says, "Hey man, she found your speed dating card,"
so you said ho? No.
Yeah.
Ho for show.
I remember that girl.
She was a hoe.
Yeah. She was a hoe. Faux show.
Leslie Mann is drunk girl. Leslie Mann is drunk white girl. Perfectly done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When that fucking song comes on, man, and she's like jamming to Missy Elliott, that's just, I'm dying.
Wrecks the fucking car, and you go, that fucker came out of nowhere. She got
wants some fucking French toast.
You're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
What is this pussy on a pedestal thing?
He says, Seth Rogen saying, "You're dating a grandma." He says, "Go fuck her on her plastic furniture. Have her write you a check for $12 on your birthday."
On your birthday, yeah.
Send you $8 for your birthday.
Oh man, I fucking love it, man. I've always been a huge fan.
Kind of shocked that I didn't see Wolf of Wall Street at #1 for Alan.
I love.
We'll talk about that here in just a minute when we do honorable mentions. We'll talk about it. But it's sitting right fucking here, by the way. I took notes on it. I took notes on it. It was coming.
I tried to put numerous scenes in the intro from Wolf of Wall Street, but they all had there's very little scenes you could actually put in for a PC, for that movie.
Yep.
All right.
Every scene either has nudity or cocaine in it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty difficult.
All right, we'll go through the chat here, and then we're going to do our honorable mentions real fast, which I'm excited about because this is going to be one of those streams that after it's over with, I'm going, shit, I should have picked this one instead. I should have talked about this one instead.
I know.
I've literally been doing it while we're done. I've been sitting here looking at my other pile like, man, maybe that should have been number 5 or
same
4.
thing. And even people in the chat, man, the shit that they're saying, I'm like, fuck, why not have that in honorable mentions, So, yeah, man, it is a very living change.
Yeah.
And Alan, you said one yesterday that I was like, fuck, I didn't even. You said Office Space. I was like, fuck, man, Office Space. Fantastic. I'm like, how the fuck that was another one I was very close to having in my top 5.
That's right here.
That's fucking fantastic, man. Office Space is great. I was like, you said that yesterday. You're talking about something else that was on the stream you guys did last night. Office Space, you brought it up, and I was like, fuck, Office Space. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. If you ever work, I'm working in an office. I do IT stuff for an office, whatever. You ever work in an office, whatever, man, that movie is even funnier because there's so much shit they fuck with. It's so fucking realistic as far as how shit is in an office. All the politics and the bullshit and the, talk about a Hawaiian shirt day and seeing everybody's face like, who gives a fuck?
I relate
all
to
that shit
movie.
Yeah.
I relate to that movie big time. Yeah.
I've got to check it on a VHS.
Oh fuck yeah!
Awesome, man. I like it.
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
All right. So Jamie Hart says, I just picked up Fear and Loathing from Criterion the other day, and I do think they had a 4K of it. I could be wrong though because there were a few on sale that didn't have a 4K option. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they just upgraded that to 4K. If it wasn't Arrow, somebody did. But I have the Criterion's one I have. Tell me I'm number 1. Is this Samantha? Tarantino is the best, yeah. I could have put on, like I said earlier, almost any of his movies could have qualified as a comedy for me.
Yeah, man.
Young Frankenstein, yeah.
Young
I got a feeling
Frankenstein,
if my buddy Dr. Ordinary would have been on the stream, which I was hoping he could, I think Young Frankenstein would have been his number one. He loves that movie.
I love Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Gizmo, I'm against animal cruelty, so I don't like Tommy Boy.
Fuck you.
To be fair, the deer lives.
Watch Face of Death
Yeah.
Part 4.
You know what he told
Caveman
me?
says-
He told me European filming directors, instead of making an animal prop, they'll just kill an animal.
Yeah,
Use
well,
it
fuck,
as that
look
animal.
at Cannibal Holocaust.
Look at the fucking Milo and Otis. They killed they set the record for most dead animals, animal deaths on the shooting of the film. Lost 25 cats, something like that. You know, however many 18 dogs.
Yeah. A lot of those old bug movies too, like Kingdom of the Spider. They killed so many fucking tarantulas in that damn movie, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Good kill all them nasty
You've never
bitches.
seen Milo and Otis. They throw a cat off a cliff and pretend it lives, and they did it numerous times just to get the shot right.
Yeah.
The cat has to like try to land on its feet, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
Nobody
And-
cared. They just, like, people
They
are
could have at
crying
least put
because
like
it's an animal movie, and
Yeah.
they're friends and stuff. And like they killed like 40-something animals to make this movie
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Jeez. They could have at least
Okay,
put a
this is
net there
Steve-
to catch the cat in case it falls. God.
The TV show everyone needs to watch at some point in your life is Psych, filled with a bunch of 80s comedy references.
Oh,
I've never
Psych,
seen that
yeah.
one.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And Crusher said Big is a great comedy movie.
I love
Yep.
Big.
Midnight Run, another road trip movie.
that's
Yep.
right.
A fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
Bambi, oh no.
The guy from Road Trip that plays like the stoner dude, he's the guy in Psych, I believe. The guy that's always smoking weed, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Give it to Young Frankenstein is the best Mel Brooks film for me. Love it. All the scenes with Kenneth Mars is super fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Teen Wolf also. Yeah, Teen Wolf's a good one.
Yep.
Hard Copy says, I love Tommy Boy Black Sheep as well. Just as good, in my opinion.
Yep. I agree.
I don't read the script. Script reads me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. Yep.
That's
Banger.
hard, man.
Yes.
Yep. Robert Downey Jr. Oh my God.
Yeah. Fucking blackface. The ultimate blackface. Huh?
He said, when
He
he said,
gets
I'm just
offended.
a dude playing another dude.
Yep.
Yeah, he's so into the character that he gets offended when somebody says something about black people. So you're a white guy from Australia.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah.
What do you mean, you people?
My bad. It's not Psych. It's he's in Royal Pains. That's the show I was thinking of.
Yeah.
The stoner guys.
I don't break character until I do the DVD commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a good brain.
Yeah.
Great 4K.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I don't
Yeah,
understand why
yeah.
no one ever mentions about blackface. Yeah, well, we just did.
Yeah.
Came in and said Tropic Thunder. Me is Jack Black. Yeah, Monty Python, Holy Grail, Rabbit, great. Tony said it's only a scratch.
It's just barely a
He's
flesh
confused.
wound.
When I was talking to my oldest son last night, he lives out in Colorado. He said his number one would probably be Days of Confused. He's also a big Monty Python fan.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great movie.
This Kevin said, yes, Monty Python, Holy Grail is genius. Shaun of the Dead's another one. That's a great one. Finally, Tony, I like Life of Brian the most, but I love Holy Grail. They were way ahead of their time. The only thing I like more from them is Flying Circus.
Yep.
But that's not a movie. Yeah, Samantha is disappointed. Sorry, Samantha. Kevin says Terry Gilliam is one of my all-time favorite directors. Time Bandits: The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen.
Munchausen. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Criterion did a release of that not long back.
Well, down here in the South, we say fucking Munchausen. So, Wild Rentals is Monty Python Bridge. I don't know. Monty Python is what every comedy tries to be. The strange thing is UK looks so gray and tight ass, but they are the best of comedy. I love Time Bandits.
Just
with
John
Jamie Hart.
Cleese. John Cleese is fantastic.
Yeah, I don't speak Spanish, but I'm assuming that's Gizmo. Okay, y'all read that.
Vinicio translate.
Okay.
Say Gizmo what? K what?
Okay.
To Samantha Martinez, sorry, I don't speak English. This Kevin says, "Bring out your dead," but I'm not dead yet. I'm feeling much better.
You soon won't be, but I'm feeling much better now.
Von G, a bong and a blitz.
Oh yeah.
Wild Randall said, "What's in the basket?"
Smoking a waffle, bong and a pancake.
Mine sounds like Mando. All right, Scolder's top 5 is Office Space, Can't Hardly Wait, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, or Something About Mary and Waiting. Yeah,
Waiting's really underrated.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I can't watch that movie, man. That shit grosses me the fuck
It's
out.
disgusting. Oh, it's disgusting.
it makes you want to be really nice to your wait staff.
Exactly, dude.
You know?
It makes me never want to fucking go out and eat fucking food. Is what it is, man. It's like I'm gonna cook my own shit. That movie. That's why I can't watch it because I do like to go out and eat. That shit's fucking grossing me out.
Yeah. Waiting's great. Yeah, that was in my This was close to being in my top 5 as well because I fucking love Waiting. This movie you really can't do today. I promise you that. This movie you cannot do today at all. Yeah.
I guess I thought someone would bring Brain Dead to the table. Basket Case is great. Brain Dead, Meet the Feebles, and Reanimator's higher up there. And Scolder is not a big fan of Basket Case. Some people just have no taste. Mando. Evil Dead 2 is also up there. Bubba Hotep, Frankenhooker.
Yeah.
I got to see Frankenhooker maybe after the stream. Yeah, check it out, man.
Dude. Stop wasting your time. Get off this stupid stream. Watch it.
Man, saying Tom K. It says, Hollanders, if you like Basket Case and Brain Damage, then you will love Frankenhooker. I think that is his best film.
I think Frankenhooker's at the bottom of the list, but I do like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a best and favorite thing. Like Brain Damage, I think is his best.
Yeah.
My favorite would be Basket Case.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I actually have to agree with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, runs Bubba Hotep, great Gizmo. Hard to beat Basket Case for me, Gizmo. Yeah, Steve Carell.
Oh, yeah.
Frankenhooker is his most crazy movie, I think. It's just all over the place, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Bill Murray loves Frankenhooker.
Really?
I know you're creating your own Frankenhooker in your basement, Gizmo.
Yeah, he was on the cover for years, quoted Bill Murray saying it was the best movie of the year.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I cannot picture Bill Murray watching that movie.
Bill Murray was shooting another movie at the same time, and he was doing the dailies and Frankenhooker they would do it after him, and Bill Murray would stay to watch the new footage every day.
Yep.
And he saw it in pieces.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Goodness says, his name is Frank and he is my hooker. How do you think I make money to create shitty films?
Fucking
Leo. Kal-El, what's up, Kal-El? What up, Pops? Anthony, Vince, Brad, and 80s Man?
Yeah.
Hello, man. You
Steve
okay?
Kal-El?
No.
The Woman in Red? All right, not long after Gary Cole started on NCIS, they made an Office Space reference. He said something about TPS reports. I died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, Cal?
Did you get that memo?
What's up, Cal?
Yeah, Office Space. Fuck that.
PO, yeah. Printer.
Fuck
Oh,
that printer.
Yeah.
Bob Blu-ray, what's going on, Bob? What's up, guys?
I love the Michael Bolton character, and he's the funniest one in there. He's like, why don't you just go by Mike? And he's like, why should I change? He's the one who sucks.
No talent ass clown.
He's listening to the most hardcore gangster rap, and a black guy comes by selling oranges. He just reaches over and locks the door.
Yeah.
Turns the radio down.
Gizmo says, no joke, Alan, but they had in the newspaper the other day, they found a new scary ass spider in Florida. Big and ugly pine rockland trapdoor. Yeah, Gizmo thinks that I live in the fucking Serengeti. I mean, he thinks that we got killer spiders and alligators just outside the fucking door. I live in Florida.
Yep. Everything can kill you out there, Gizmo. There's gators.
Yep.
Like Gizmo says, look it up if you don't want to sleep at night. No, I'm good, man. I don't need to think about it. It says, hey to Cal and Bob. I'm going to steal the red stapler. Yeah. Yeah, Milton, man. Such a great character. Sean says, hello to everybody. What's going on, Sean?
Lawrence, the construction worker, is also hilarious in it. Peter, he's always bugging Peter to hang out, and Peter's like never wanting to do it. And then finally, Peter wants to hang out with him, and he's like, "Nah, man, I don't want you fucking my life up too." He doesn't think he can hear him through the wall.
I asked for no salt on the margarita.
Yeah, definitely the last straw. I did not receive my paycheck. When he said, so it was a glitch. We just fixed the glitch. So it's going to work itself out naturally.
It'll work itself out, yeah.
Let's say to Sean. We're saying hey back and forth. Samantha says, watch the show Insomnia.
All right.
Yes,
Said, Brad, we never killed animals for films, but we use animals that are already dead in films. Big difference. Why waste a dead animal?
Yeah, you see what he said there? He said, listen, they were already dead when we found them at the petting zoo. You know?
Sure they were.
Yeah.
Sure they were.
They didn't do that Lords of Chaos, Gizmo. Those fucking animals at the beginning, man, those were hella fake.
Yeah.
Brian says, Robin Hood Men in Tights is another hilarious comedy. I didn't say Abe Lincoln. I said, hey, Blinken.
Hey,
Blinken. Really good. Yeah.
Dom DeLuise in that is hilarious.
Yep.
James says, honorable mention, Scary Movie 2, Old School, Idiocracy, One Crazy Summer, Better Off Dead, A Knight's Tale, Waiting, Fast Time, Ridgemont High, Hot Tub Time Machine, and Get Him to the Greek.
I love Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time is great.
It's so crazy how that even works. Like, how could that be good? You hear that title and go, how could that even be good?
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, it is.
What's they say? Great White Buffalo.
Yeah. You wrote Cincinnati on it? How am I supposed to know which one it is?
You can't bury those
things. It's admissible. It's this great. They just keep the Cincinnati lore, and you never find out what it is.
Yeah. He said, if I wanted to kill myself, I would have done it. I'd be fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Yep. It would be epic. Shotgun to the dick.
Crispin Glover as the one-armed bellman.
Yeah.
He's just throwing their shit and then demands a tip. Yes. He won't let him help him with anything, even though he's got one arm. I don't know.
If he doesn't lose his fucking arm soon, I'm going to take it from him myself.
Yeah, he's looking like he's going to lose his arm
every time
in the flashback. Yeah, and he finally loses it at the end.
Yeah.
And of course, the Brain Smasher is one no one knows of. My godfather used to beat up George Lucas.
I know he's fucking. He was from over here where I live, Modesto.
Kevin says, "Waiting." Was it the goat they did? Yeah,
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that whole shit was funny as hell. Bob says my favorite comedies are American Pie 2, Wedding Crashers, and The Girl Next Door.
American Pie 2.
Yeah, I like Wedding Crashers.
That's it.
He would have known that. He would have known that Anthony pulled that earlier if he had been watching from the beginning.
Sean saying hey to Bob. Wild Reynolds says want a date. Hey Sean, hey Holland. Helen says one of those got mentioned. Bob got to watch the whole stream to find out. Hagen K says Bad Santa is a great comedy. Billy Bob is funny as hell.
Yeah, fucking literally.
Right, so, I think Bill Murray was directing Quick Change at the time. He had this conversation when we watched Basket Case 2. Yep.
Yeah, we did a live watch along for Basket Case 2.
We got to save Bill Murray. All right, Gizmo says the first little piggy that went to
market.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I can read this without sounding stupid. Went to market named American Pie number 2. You are the second, Bob. He was the next. It's a weird dude. Selling oranges by the freeway. Named the band.
Whoa, I'm terrible with music. Everybody knows that. I'm not a big music guy. I can't remember the band. Remember when the band he's playing that song? There's a murderer up inside of me, and he locks the door, rolls up the window, and turns the music down when the black guy's coming by in Office Space.
Oh, what song that is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Scarface.
Scarface, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He did a song with Tupac, actually.
Holland at Jamie Hart. Yes, Jamie, I love Idiocracy. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Yep.
Because I just wanted to hear Pop say Little Piggy.
They made the Watch in like 2010 with Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn, Jonah Hill. Actually,
players too.
Yeah.
Did you guys see Extract with Jason Bateman and Ben Affleck? That one's actually pretty good too. The same guys who did Office Space did Extract. It's got Mila Kunis in it. It's a real. Not a lot of people have seen it, but actually, I like that one. Yeah, it's good.
Brian says, "I love Crispin Glover and Hot Tub Time Machine. You're gonna lose that arm."
It's
yeah,
so
and he thinks they're joking with him, like, "Oh, you're gonna lose your arm."
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, Jay says, "I like money." What up? How are you? Go away, Baton. I bet George Lucas liked the little spanking.
Definitely.
See, that's why you got to proofread this shit for you say it. Beavis and Butthead, the movie Mars Attacks. What about Bob? Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Samantha says, I lived in Cincinnati.
Yeah, me too.
Mars Attacks. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, Mars Attacks is good.
Bill Murray presents Frankenhooker too.
Wow, sure it'll happen.
Yeah, Mars Attacks. Gore Forever. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Chuck.
One of my kids has been puking for hours. I'm going to have to catch the replay. Hope Animal House was mentioned by someone. If not, you're all embarrassments.
I quoted Animal House, but it wasn't in my top five.
Yeah.
Cal says Horrible Bosses and Drill Bit Taylor.
The Horrible Bosses is really funny, man. Kevin Spacey is fucking hilarious as the prick boss, you know.
Who is the closest to Deliverance locations of you guys? Please say some quotes. Well, I know that UK Tony's not. So
yeah, no one is.
It's probably going to be Brad. Yeah, probably Brad.
Yeah.
Squeal like a pig.
Brian says Anthony Extract is a classic, man. Jason Bateman basically hiring a pool boy to fuck his wife is hilarious.
Yes, so good, man.
I got to check that out.
That's really good.
Sublimed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know the Tom Jones scene.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Honorable mentions by Scolder is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang Beer League. The ref is a good one. Super bad, great. Grumpy Old Men. Grandma's Boys, Fanboys, The Nice Guys, Maverick, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Yeah, those are all great, man.
Yeah, Grumpy Old Men. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, Grumpy.
Yeah.
Super Troopers hasn't been mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll come around.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to go around the horn here and do our honorable mentions real fast. Like I said, we're not going to get real deep into them. Just kind of throw them up and talk about it for a second if you want to. And we'll
we already
do the chat again and we'll get on out of here.
But waiting. I mean, literally part of the movie is Ryan Reynolds trying to fuck a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Before she hits her 18th birthday. Like, that's literally, you could not do this film today. You know what I mean? And then Ryan Reynolds thinks of himself as such a good person by the end of the movie because he decides to wait for her to hit her 18th birthday. Like, you could never do that shit today. I mean, he's like patting himself on the back at the end for not fucking her.
when he said to her, like, let's just wait the week until you turn 18.
Right.
But he also says, if anybody asks, anybody at all, I didn't wait.
Right.
You were 17 when we got together.
Twice. And then, of course, Old School. A bunch of people brought this up. I love Old School.
My boy, Blue.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn is great too, man. He's so good. He's like, you can have the keys to my store, literally, in the commercial. And he's like, I meant to say figuratively.
Figuratively.
Whatever. Yeah. And Gizmo called this one. It almost made my top 5, like a lot of these movies, but it didn't quite get there. But Sex Drive, Gizmo called that one too. Yeah, great. Another road trip movie.
Yeah.
Really funny. Seth Green's hilarious in this right there too, as the Amish guy. Great coming of age road trip type film. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. I love how this guy, by the way, I love how this guy plays like the really cool dude in the movie, kind of like the Sean William Scott. He's the biggest fucking nerdy kind of looking guy, but he's supposed to be the cool one. You know, that shit cracks me up. And then we got a triple feature here. We got Chasing Amy, Jane Silent Bob, Clerks, or Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks. Can't go wrong with any of these three movies. They're all great. I just wanted to do one Kevin Smith movie, so I was like, I'll just do Mallrats, but it easily could have been Clerks. And then Detroit Rock City.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Cool, yeah.
Love Detroit City.
This is another one that needs like a Blu-ray or 4K or a re-release of the Blu-ray if there was one. I'm not sure, but Detroit Rock City, another road trip movie yet again. Great movie.
Really
it also
underrated.
features Kiss.
Yeah,
Again,
Kiss.
I mean, another
Edward
one like role
Furlong.
models that features Kiss. You know, constantly, so.
Eddie's Furlong's best movie since T2.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it for my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Awesome, man. My wife is vacuuming right outside the door here, so I hear a fucking vacuum. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
I was wondering what that was. Yeah, I could kind of hear it. Yeah.
My wife sent me a message earlier and said, "How long was your stream? I got to clean the house." And I was like, so I guess she said, "Fuck you. I'm going to start cleaning the house." I never answered.
All right, so first up, I got Zombieland. I fucking love Zombieland. To be honest, man, I feel like the movie is way better than Shaun of the Dead. I like Shaun of the Dead, but I feel like Shaun of the Dead's a little bit overrated, and I feel like this one is exactly where it needs to be. This shit's just fucking hilarious, man. And just, again, the production value, the zombies, I mean, it literally looks like a horror movie at times, and then it's fucking hilarious at other times. So, yeah, Zombieland is a classic.
Yeah.
Next up,
I only live an hour away from where that theme park was. Excuse me. I only live an hour away from where they filmed this place called Wild Adventures. It's about Austin, Georgia, which is about an hour away from me, or a little less. That's where they filmed the theme park at the end. So
hell yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Next up, we talked about this one, but How High? Back when I was a young stoner kid, man, this movie, I was cracking the fuck up watching this movie. It's just fucking hilarious. I mean, I remember the part 2 where he's like waking him up and he puts this big ass speaker and he plays that song, Du hast, and trying to wake him up and it wasn't working. Then he lights the blunt and blows it in his face and he's still doing it to the fucking song, putting it in his face, and he finally woke up. So funny, man. Great stuff. I got Bad Santa also. We talked about that a little bit, man. Billy Bob Thornton, his fucking personality in this movie is so fucking hilarious, man. His just, I don't give a fuck attitude. He's like, so what? I like fat chicks, you know, like, just hilarious movie.
You're not going to shit right for a week.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to shit right for a week. And then speaking of Eddie Murphy, this is actually my favorite Eddie Murphy movie, and it's going to be Trading Places. I fucking love this movie, man. I see this movie at a very young age, and it's just fucking hilarious to me. Awesome
as well.
Yeah, I love Trading Places, man.
Yeah. Next up, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Hell yeah.
This movie right here, man, this was like when Jim Carrey started going into like more adult comedy. It was the first time I remember ever hearing him say the word fuck, and he says it in this movie hella times, and it was just a whole side of Jim Carrey that I had never seen before. So this movie was fucking hilarious, man. Love this shit.
Dude, he got a lot of shit for that movie after he did it, too. A lot of different people were coming at him and coming after that movie for making fun of like handicapped people and stuff like that. Like he got a lot of flack for that movie.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was his first time stepping out of like almost that kind of kids comedy, you know?
Yeah, so, like Liar Liar and stuff like
that. They kind of went way above, man. I think he did amazing.
You said you were going to eat blubber. Yeah, she's going to eat blubber as soon as I free Willie.
Next up, Step Brothers. We talked about this one already too. This movie is a fucking masterpiece, man. Hilarious stuff, man. Their dialogue between each other and their hatred and their immature attitude when they fucking sleepwalk and shit too. It's like, oh man, just so fucking fun. Horrible. And then last, I got Superbad as well. We talked about this one as well. I feel like Superbad kind of started the whole fucking, Jonah Hill and fucking Seth Rogen kind of comedies. This one was the originator on it, man. This shit was fucking hilarious the first time I seen it. I think I was wheezing, man, laughing so fucking hard. So yeah, those are some of my honorable mentions, man. But like I said, there's so many other ones that I could have added in there, but that's kind of what I just grabbed off the top of my head. So yeah.
Every fucking one of those bangers, man. All good.
Hell yeah.
Like I mentioned before, Clue, absolute brilliant film. Tim Curry runs fucking wild in this one. That's a great flick. I'm a huge fan of virtually everything that Nick Pegg and Simon Frost do. So, Paul.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Paul is a great film. Yep. I sort of get where you're coming from with Shaun of the Dead. I mean, God, that film gets played to death here in the UK, and I do enjoy Shaun of the Dead. It is a good film, but for me, everything that those two guys they've done together, the best thing that they did was Hot Fuzz.
Oh yeah,
Hot Fuzz. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah. That's my son's favorite out of the trilogy.
It's just little bits where they have to get an interpreter for the interpreter. You know what I mean?
It's not the dog we need.
Yeah, it's not the dog we need. It's him. Have you got a license for that gun? He asked for this one. You know what I mean? He said he asked for that one. You know what I mean? What's that? Sea mine. You know what I mean?
The loaded junk.
All the best, man. Paul, for me, that movie was fucking hilarious, man. Paul's my favorite out of
Paul's
those.
great.
Yeah.
But like I said, Hot Fuzz, everything in general about this, the horror elements, the comedy elements, the action elements, just all work seamlessly. It's definitely the best thing that these two have done together.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of World's End. I know people don't like that.
World's End is great too.
Yeah.
But I love World's End.
Yeah, I mean, World's End's. I mean, I've got the entire Cornetto trilogy, so World's End's there. It is good. The only problem is the character that Simon Pegg plays in this pisses me off a little bit in the film. It's a bit too much. You know what I mean?
I think that's the point. You know,
that's supposed
he has to be humanized at the end.
Everyone's got a friend like that. You know what I mean? I understand that's what they're going
for.
Well,
he starts off that way, and by the end, he's humanized. He's not that character anymore. He grows up, basically, as the movie takes place.
Yeah. But no, man, like I said, I love everything they did. The TV stuff back in the day from Space is fantastic. And then everything that rolled on from the back of that is just great. Everything they've done is great together.
Nice.
Awesome stuff, man.
Yep.
I'll go through these quick. This is just what I grabbed a handful of the stack. Frankenhooker, Frank Henenlotter. Like I said, I wouldn't say it's his best, but it is fun as hell. It's crazy as hell. It's nuts. Definitely check that one out. Great Arrow release. It's absolutely loaded. Better than the Synapse release. You want to get the Arrow if you don't have it. Mutant Action. This is a newer one for me. I hadn't seen it till recently. This movie.
I've been meaning to watch this.
Riot. It's about a group of terrorists that are disabled. As you can tell by the cover there, they're, again, I'll say it again. They are disabled terrorists. Don't need to know much more than that. It's awesome.
That's Seven, right? Seven release?
Seven release, 7 4K. Yep.
Yeah. Fuck. I skipped that one, man. I need to get it.
Dude, you got to get it. But I'd wait for a sale because it's fucking expensive. It's like $46.
That's why I haven't bought it, man. I've fucking been boycotting Seven, man. They're fucking way too expensive.
Prices are crazy.
Yeah.
Dirty Work, Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang, Chris Farley. If you haven't seen this, man, this is hilarious. Really could have easily been in my top 5, but I thought it was going to be a little Chris Farley heavy. So I was like, I'll just leave it for honorable mention. This movie is hysterical. A lot of fun. Yep. Freddy Got Fingered. It's fucking timeless. I know people hate this movie. It is a one of a kind. There will never be another Freddy Got Fingered. This was a big deal for my generation. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about what goes on in this fucking movie. Dude jacking off an elephant.
Sausage.
Guy jacks off an elephant onto his dad. I mean, come on.
Brad, that's a great fucking thing. I got to get that movie. That's a great
It's
thing.
only available on DVD. It's crazy.
The kid that keeps getting hurt every scene, he gets hit by a car, thrown into a he just keeps getting hurt. This little kid throughout the entire movie.
Rip Torn is so fucking funny in this. He's hilarious as the dad, constantly beating the shit out of Tom Green as his son. He's like, Mike's son is a goddamn nuclear physicist, and my son can eat a chicken burger. It's hilarious.
That's a great pick.
Another one. This is kind of it's a finance movie. It's a comedy. It's called The Big Short. Big cast here: Brad Pitt, Gosling, Carell, Bale. I mean, if you're into, it's about the 2008 real estate crisis. It's related to my line of work. I find it hilarious. Anything fucking Chris Farley, Black Sheep, Tommy Boy, Almost Heroes. I mean, Beverly Hills Ninja. Where's that fucking Blu-ray? They all have a certain amount of heart to them. This character is absolutely lovable. This actor is lovable in every role he's in. He was an icon. 34, dead. Too soon.
Yep.
Big Lebowski. Can't believe nobody mentioned it. This movie's an icon too. Hilariously funny. Coen Brothers movie. John Goodman is awesome in this as Walter. Only a couple more here. Beer League with Artie Lang. Hilarious movie. Absolutely could not be made today. It is hysterically funny. A uniquely New Jersey film. Definitely check this one out if nobody's seen it. 3 more here. Slither.
Gotta love Slither.
Awesome, gross out horror comedy.
I'm just so fucking hungry, Bill.
It's got the little subplot with whatever this whore's name is, and the dude who's kind of been pining for her his whole life. I like that. Great movie. Everybody's seen it. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
Love that movie.
2 more. American Werewolf in London. This movie is not just a great horror movie. It's also hilarious. All the stuff with the corpses that are haunting him. A Naked American Stole My Balloons. Come on, man. This is an icon. This is a great John Landis, same director as the Animal House.
Just the whole pub scene at the beginning is
pub,
great.
Yeah, that pub is great. And this one came out of nowhere for me. The Disaster Artists. I have seldom laughed harder than watching this movie. It is so fucking funny. James Franco, I guess he's some kind of sex pervert or something. He's canceled, whatever. Him and his brother are both fucking hilarious in this. If you have not seen this, check it out. But that's the top stack of my honorable mentions. I had a slew of them, but those will do.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome choices, man. I'll get through these pretty fast. I got maybe not quite as many as Brad had, but almost. Tommy Boy has already been mentioned. Fucking love it. Kind of surprised it didn't make my top 5. It was real fucking close, but love Tommy Boy. Is fucking great. This has already been mentioned. But Superbad. Fucking love this movie, man. When I first did this was this was automatically in my top 5. Yeah. And I don't know why it got knocked out. It's just there was some other ones I wanted to mention, but love fucking Superbad. It's one of my favorites. And I mentioned this earlier, Pineapple Express, the best older movie ever, in my opinion. Yeah. Just a fucking great movie. I've watched it a million times. It's great.
Alan breaking out the really OOP steelbooks. Just one after another.
I got these fucking super fucking cheap, man.
We've got $700 worth of steelbooks. Just
you got The Wolf of Wall Street. Originally, this was in my top 5. I kind of backed it out at the last minute, whatever. But this is a fucking hilarious movie. It's fucking great. I mean, it's got like a 3-hour runtime, but it's fucking gold. I mean, I love it. It's very rewatchable. One of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that's a masterpiece.
Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, I actually changed my number 5 pick. Whatever. I think Vinicio, you pulled this right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I swapped this out with another one, whatever. But this was originally my top 5. Fucking great movie where they pull up with the Lamborghini there, the Stanley Hotel they're at. Yeah. When we went out and visit my son in Colorado, there at Estes Park, we actually went to that hotel. And I got a picture taken, where he's in the bar, waiting on the girl, and he's walking out and he sees the thing on the wall. We landed on the moon, and he's like freaking out. Yeah. That thing is still there. So we got a picture in front of that poster on the wall, that news clipping. And we said that the bar had a drink right where Jim Carrey was sitting up. It was pretty awesome. So it was cool seeing all that. But great movie. I mean, just all-time endless classic. The Wedding Singer.
I
love the fucking Wedding Singer. This is by far whatever Adam Sandler's best movie. I'm an '80s kid, and this is fucking such a great homage to the fucking '80s. It's just it's an all around fucking great movie. This should have been in my top 5. All these fuckers should have been in my top 5. Office Space, talked about it earlier. Fucking love it. Jesus Christ, fucking hilarious movie. Friday, nobody mentioned Friday. Yeah. Man, fucking great, hilarious movie. Fucking Chris Tucker, man, he should have made 10 more movies, comedies. What the hell? Why did he just give it up? But this is a fucking classic.
Ice Cube, I guess.
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
What's in the boxes for?
You build the clubhouse. Somebody mentioned this in the chat, whatever. But fucking Bachelor Party, man. I mean, I watched this, right after it come out. I mean, Tom Hanks, when he became more of a dramatic actor, a big, Oscar-winning actor, or whatever. I mean, he was known for his fucking comedies, and this was an all-time great one, man. This is a rewatchable fucking movie. It's a fucking blast. Just check out Bachelor Party if you're a Tom Hanks fan. If you're not, this is just a great all-around comedy, a good, kind of a party buddy movie. It's a fucking great time. This is a good one, and we need a better release than this. But that's it. That's what I got. And again, I had a lot more. That's just what I pulled for the honorable.
I was, as other people were doing their honorable mentions, I was pulling them out of my honorable mention pile, and mine was still fucking long as shit.
Yeah, man, it's tough, and there were still a lot that weren't mentioned. That's what's crazy about it. And
that's why this one for sure can have a part 2, man. Because there's so many movies that we didn't talk about that are like list worthy for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, look, a big one for me, and I don't own a physical copy of it for some reason, is Hot Rods with Andy Samberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to come by.
Great film. Yeah, great film.
Bulletproof also, Sandler and Damon Wayans. That shit's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Samantha says, tell Vinny he's hot.
Yeah.
I just did.
Samantha, honey, it's Brad. It's Brad, not. I don't know what you guys mixed up. But.
Thank you, Sam.
Samantha said waiting. Waiting's fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Amy, good. Trini says, Yo Kal-El, Wild Wrangler. Detroit Rock City, solid. Yeah, that's good. I ain't seen that in a while. DRC, Detroit Rock City.
Yep.
I love that.
Says Tony was right and I was wrong. I hate to say so, but the first Faces of Death, 90% fake. Had to check that out after the documentary stream we had.
I don't know how you didn't understand that.
Watch Faces of Death Part 4, though. It's all animal deaths.
Yeah. Traces of Death. Check that one out.
Traces of Death is insane, man.
Yeah.
That's just hard to watch.
Samantha said, I called old school.
Yeah.
Hot dog buns. I called Clerks too.
Yep.
Going Forever to Trading Places is fucking gold. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. That's my favorite fucking Eddie Murphy for sure movie.
Yeah. Man said, called it. Hagen Case is gonna name my kid Thurman Merman. Make me some goddamn sandwiches. Oh, says, how high called that too?
Yep.
We got Vinny there with the heart. Gore Forever says Paul is not spoken about enough. Says Gore Forever there.
No.
Yeah.
Great.
Ken says, anyone know why the Police Academy movies aren't on Blu-ray yet? There is one overseas. There's a box set you can get, I think. I only want the first two. They're out of the UK with the worst artwork ever. Yeah, that box set does have terrible artwork, but
I think
that box
the
has
complete
Blu-ray.
collection's out over here.
Yeah, it's really weird. Randomly,
the
entire Police Academy collection at Best Buy. Like just ran. I'm like, why is this? Is there like an anniversary or something? It was.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was DVD. It was like the DVD, Police Academy. I don't know. Just random.
Yeah. Scholar says Dirty Work is great. Gore Forever says Severin charges too much because they keep getting sued for doing stupid Terminator 2 and Jaws 5 slipcovers.
Yeah.
Vinny already called The World's End. Severin. Yeah. Michael Rooker as Slither is amazing. Great actor. Yeah, I love him as Slither. Yeah. Love him about everything. The Slither wins for the best use of an Air Supply song.
Yeah.
R.I.P. legendary Chris Farley.
Yep.
Black Sheep.
Yep.
I mentioned it. Yep. Big Lebowski. Where's his rug?
Hell yeah.
Yep. Love Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Why does it say Paper Jam when there's no Paper Jam? Yeah, I told you. Leo. Bachelor Party is a childhood favorite. Yeah, if y'all ain't seen Bachelor Party, man, y'all need to check that out for sure. It's a good one. Yeah, Vinny got that. If you love Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks, watch Money Pit. If you never have, incredible. Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah,
great film.
Anything Adam Sandler.
Yep.
I love Stephen Wright in Bachelor Party. Yeah, smash that printer. Brian says, when Adam Sandler says, you know how I know this is a 70s porn? Because the guy's sideburns.
Yep.
Crack me the hell up. A little bit bulletproof.
Hell. And he says, me and my retarded friend here going to Disneyland. Where we going? Disneyland.
Man, so I got fired on my day off.
Yeah.
I stole the rug. It really ties the room together.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been a fucking blast. We've been going for 3 hours and 39 minutes, man. This was a fucking fun one. I knew it would be. Got a fucking great group of guys to do this one, man. It was just a fucking good time. And like I said, if we ever want to do a part 2 to this, I'm ready. Y'all just let me know. I got plenty to even taking out my honorable mentions, I still got 5 more I can pull.
Hell yeah, me too.
But everybody in the chat, man, thank y'all so much for joining us. This has been a really good time.
Yeah.
So anybody got anything they want to announce before we get out of here? You got anything you want to throw out there? Something coming up?
The next, we were going to do another 5 documentaries. We were going to add Vinicio this time.
Yep.
Me, Gizmo, Master of the 80s, Alan. Gizmo's kind of mentioned a little bit that he'd like kind of a break, but not like a big stream. So I don't know. We're talking about another 5 documentaries because we had a lot of fun with the last documentary.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
I know Vinicio's is big into documentaries, and we may do another one.
I'm definitely down for that, man. I got some good ideas for that one already. Yeah, I also have on Monday, I'm going to be on Mega Mike's channel. I believe at 6 o'clock Pacific time. That's going to be the top 5 sequels. Oh, you're on it too, Pops, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep.
And then next Monday, it's going to be mine and Hard Copy Blues, Vin versus Vin. We're going to be doing the top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies.
Ooh, that's
awesome,
gonna be a really good one. Yeah. Damn. That's tough too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this has been a fucking great one, man. Anthony, you got anything coming up? Tony?
Yeah, I've got some videos that'll be uploaded for the rest of this week. I put the first one up today, and I've got another 5 to run off the back of that. I'm having a look at my HMV premium collection. So I'll be running through 5 titles in each video. Like I said, first one went up this morning. I've got another 5 of those, so that's probably the rest of this week sorted out.
Hell yeah, man!
Nice.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining us.
Regular Anthony, what do you got going on?
You know what? I don't have anything coming up yet. You know, I might do like a movie haul video or something like that. I'm not sure yet. You know, just stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah, I got another review I'm working on. I'm hoping to get time tomorrow to finally get a chance to do that. I wanted to do it Thursday night, but didn't have time. So I got another review video coming up. I already got the movie picked out. I'm going to review. So I don't know if you've seen the first one. Not many have. But I basically watch a movie here in the movie room, and then as soon as it's over with, I do like kind of a first impression, you know, or my first thoughts about the movie or something like that. Just something I'm working on my channel, trying to get the bugs worked out of it. Episode 2 of that's coming out here pretty soon. So, but other than that, I got a collection haul. I'm way behind. I got probably 50 titles sitting on the floor here that I need to show in a collection update.
Oh, there you go.
Been doing so many live streams and stuff on other channels, I hadn't had a chance to really film that yet. But I probably got at least 2. I'll probably break it up in 2 different review videos instead of so it ain't quite so long, whatever. But that's coming out soon. But guys, we're gonna get on out of here. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Hell yeah.
Everybody in the chat's been great, man. A lot of great back and forth.
Yep.
A great old classic Cannonball Run, man. I love Cannonball Run.
Yep.
So, yeah, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Everybody be good. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we're gonna get out of here.
Take it easy, guys.